Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adams Tennis Complex, aka the Cathedral Tennis. I'm Matthew Hayden, alongside my co-host Dylan Simmons here to watch a very exciting Lady Raiders tennis match today. We are going up against the Bellarmine Knights from Louisville, Kentucky. So, Dylan, I'm going to cut it to you quickly. What's Bellarmine's status coming into this match today?
Well, Bellarmine is a team that MTSU has never faced before, the first time ever, and their team that's coming off a bit of a tough season. 1-22 last year, Matt, so they've got a lot that they're trying to redeem themselves for. 1-6 coming into this game, and as we mentioned, they've got one win against Northern Illinois that they had in a doubleheader. Coming off losses against Marshall and Miami of Ohio, they've played this is their third game in 3 days. They're on a heck of a streak right now, trying to keep things up and trying to get another victory add to their total. It's going to be interesting to see if they can rebound coming into today, especially with that record. They're going to try to improve that to 2-6.
Indeed, indeed. Coming off, straight back-to-backs can be very tiring for a team. So that's something we got to take into account,
Yes.
Looking at these double matches and the singles matches today, seeing if the fatigue is really falling down on these players. Cutting over to our Blue Lady Raiders, is there any X factors that you see in the match today that we should really be looking forward today?
Absolutely. I think it's going to be all about Noelle Morrow especially. She has gotten 2 dominant victories, put the hammer down on the nail back-to-back games so far. She's going to look to do that again today, and she's going to be really the person that the Blue Raiders will look for a dominant victory. And also look out for LSS, Lily Sophie Schmidt, coming up with 2 straight clutch victories for MTSU. Same story against both Austin Peay and Georgia State. She's the one they look to close out the match. She's done that twice in a row. Look for her to do it again today.
Indeed, indeed. So yesterday when we were here, we saw a 4-0 sweep with a little bit of a strange outcomes to a few matches at the Georgia State game. With some people having to forfeit due to injuries. We have a full slate of games here today, and, we're seeing if there's going to be any quick matches. As we've seen in the past that we have Noella, they like to really finish quick. She gets out there, she does her job, and, gets that early lead for them into the singles. And then, Lily Sophie Schmidt closing it out every time, which is something that we've seen in actually back-to-back games, like you said. So maybe we, third time's a charm tonight. We see another quick early game for Noella, and then Lily Sophie Schmidt closing it out. So for Bellarmine, who is their X factor coming into today's game for you?
Well, Bellarmine is a very interesting case. They've got a lot of interesting players, and here's the thing about Bellarmine. They're a very young team. They're only returning 2 players this year, one a sophomore, one a senior, but I'm looking for their number 1, their overall player that's going to really make an impact, and that is going to be Tinkoko, Ekaterina Tinkoko. And she's going to be the one that they're going to look for. She's been the one who's been able to get victories and maintain a pretty good record for them thus far. Also look out for Channing Varnum. She is the lone senior on this team. She provides that experience that Bellarmine's going to need in this kind of atmosphere. And even though you play a lot of road games, there's not quite an atmosphere like the Cathedral of Tennis, the Adams Tennis Complex. It's going to be an interesting challenge for this team, and that veteranocity that she provides may be able to provide some calm for this team as well.
Indeed, indeed. We've interviewed Noella and even some of the men that say playing at the Cathedral of Tennis is just a game changer.
Yes.
The fans here love to get rowdy. They love to get behind their Raiders. They hold a very hard impact, just as much as the play on the court as they do off the court. So as you can see, the fans will play a huge factor here tonight.
Absolutely. They're going to play a huge factor. They're going to be the driving force for this team. They feed off of that crowd. They love the energy. And this team, they get all the better for the fans' involvement. Look out for those fans to be cheering their hearts out today. It's going to be a fun one, Matt.
Absolutely. It looks like, we're trying to get everything ready for the matches, ready to get a fun day ahead of us for some tennis. It's going to be a fun all the way around. Either, a later Raider win would also make it even more fun. But, either way, I'm glad to be out here with you, Simmons. So I think let's jump into some action.
Absolutely. Let's get right to the doubles action right now. What do you say?
Alrighty, here we go. We have Morrow and Swarbrick for MTSU here today, and Krisolov and Grasso here. Court two is our first jump into action here today.
Yeah, this is court number 2. Eloise Swarbrick didn't play yesterday for MTSU, so getting some experience today. And again, that partially had to do with the fact that Georgia State only had 5 players, Matt. So they're coming into this game with a little bit of more freshness in that sense with Noelle and Swarbrick teaming up together. Should be interesting to see how well she'll play, or even if that's going to affect her since she hasn't been on the same wavelength as the other players have recently.
Indeed, indeed. Rest can be important to a lot of players, but it also could be, not, you don't get enough reps that you come in a little rusty. So maybe we'll see, the first couple of matches, we'll see, a little bit of a hesitation on the chemistry here, but I'm hoping, jump out to a quick lead here for the first doubles. All right. Looks like we have Shu Grossa here to start off the serve on court 2. Nice play there by Krislova for Bellarmine.
I'll tell you what, that was an absolute bullet that she put right in the corner there. Love the placement that she had right along the sideline, too. That's almost indefensible for a player, Matt.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's something that MTSU, has to counteract. With these, rallies, they got to, really wear down this Bellarmine team, get out on top.
Saw that one head. Looked like almost a little bit outside there.
Indeed.
Placement's been a big thing for these Blue Raiders, and especially trying to hit the ball exactly where it needs to be. They've had a few balls that have fluttered out in the past. They're going to look to kind of tighten that up today.
Indeed, you got to paint those corners like the 90 Braves.
That would be nice for them if they could. Already, though, a 40-love deficit here for Morrow and Swarbrick. So, again, we talked about whether or not Swarbrick had enough reps. Right now, it seems like she's almost off to a bit of a cold start here.
Indeed. Going down 40 love early is not a great sign, but hopefully you're looking to bounce back here. Quick first set there for Bellarmine, out to a 1-0 start here on court 2.
Yeah, that one took no time at all. We saw Morrow and Swarbrick come in and immediately just get thrashed there. But the great thing about tennis is there's still plenty of time to make up that ground, and dropping an early game is usually not indicative of what could be coming later on. Still a lot of time for this team, especially with players like Noelle and Eloise. They're going to have that tenacity to come back.
Absolutely. The main thing is, even though they're going to fall behind, they're going to talk it over, take a deep breath, get back into the game, try and, bounce back and seal this a doubles point for us today. Got Noelle Morrow on the serve here for MTSU.
Man, nice backhand from Eloise that time.
Great teamwork there. Noella coming right off the serve and on a very tricky ball to play, kept it in, let her teammate, rebound off the sent back from Bellarmine.
Yes. That's those intangibles we talk about so much. It's not easy to just be able to hit the ball back like that. Backhands are so difficult as a player. That comes with years and years of experience, folks.
Nice play there by Bellarmine. Those long rallies, they can really get to a team. And, you got to see who can persevere during these long rallies and, get that quick point.
Yeah, and you almost saw Morrow and Swarbrick kind of get disoriented that time. They both centered over to the left side. As a player, that's not what you want to do. You want to have a player on each side to be able to defend that. They ended up getting misaligned and then ended up costing them big there. As a player, when you're playing doubles, you usually want to maintain one side of the court. I'm sure that's something that they're going to be looking to fix here.
Nice serve there by Noelle to get a 30-15 advantage here.
She's going to need more of those, especially as the day goes on. She's got a heck of a serve, Matt, what she's able to do. Sometimes as a player, it's almost impossible to return those kinds of serves when they're coming at you full force.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw yesterday against Georgia State. She was out there playing very aggressive, able to get those quick serves. Rebound by Bellarmine. And then we saw there, Noella got, she kind of pushed up, looking to play a little bit more aggressive, not play, as far back. So maybe that's something, that her and Coach Taylor, talked about coming into this doubles match. So it's something to look forward to in the other matches.
Yeah, we saw Eloise kind of go even further up than she probably would have liked. And I'm sure that's when she's probably going to want back because she was so far up that there was nowhere to go when that ball went right past her. And it's risk versus reward kind of thing.
Beautiful play by Swarbrick there.
Oh, you talk about a silencer. Eloise again, she's got a beautiful backhand every time she's able to do that. It impresses me more and more. That is not easy to do here, folks. That takes a lot of practice. And the way she positioned it, perfectly done. That is like Bret Hart, the excellence of execution right there.
Fault there by Noel.
Hit it too far out that time, and you know what that means, Matt. It's time for deuce, and this is going to be when that clutch, that Tom Brady gene is tested for these Blue Raiders. Are they able to come up clutch in these situations? We've seen a lot of their games, many of their games, go to 4-3 situations all year. And this is one of those times where you're going to be put under pressure, and we'll see if the Blue Raiders are going to be able to come out as a diamond.
Absolutely. That's the deciding factor for a lot of teams. If you can clinch out these, 4-3 wins, in your favor.
Solid response right there from the Blue Raiders, and that's exactly what you need there. Makes it 1-1. Act like the first game didn't happen. Despite getting swept, they're right back in it. That's that tenacity that we're talking about with these Blue Raiders, Matt.
Absolutely. I saw in these first two matches, Eloise and Noel just kind of trying to figure out each other's chemistry. Again, like we said, Eloise is, did not play in our recent matchup, so, she's still kind of trying to get her feet under here today. Again, we saw there, both players, up front trying to be aggressive on the court, but again, just colliding with each other. These simple mistakes are something you got to clean up, before it's too late. Because if you, too far into the match, it's something that could just, bring a downfall to the team.
Yeah, that was a meeting of the minds right there. They both were going for the same piece of real estate, and chemistry's a big thing. You want to have as much chemistry as a periodic table when you're a doubles team. And that's what Morrow and Swarbrick are going to try to improve on as the year goes on. These two, they've played each other a lot. They've played all fall. They've played parts of this spring, and they're going to keep getting better, but it's all about these experiences to learn more about yourselves.
Eloise with an amazing execution there.
Man, the backhand strikes again. I'll tell you, Eloise continues to really impress me with her ability to just backhand that ball. And if you're Bellarmine, you got to try to find a way to defend that because she's coming at you full force every time. You're going to have to find a way to defend it or else she's going to continue to eat them alive defensively.
We saw a little bit of change there with Noelle. She kind of fell back, kind of was letting the ball stay in front of her. They weren't trying to get beat, on a quick little backhand up front. Interesting play there.
Very interesting play, and again, that comes all down to formation. And I think that they're starting to learn more and more about how to approach this game. It's almost like the first couple of games can be a feeling out process. I think the Blue Raiders, or at least this doubles team, might have found something on this Bellarmine squad opposing them.
Great play there by Noel and Eloise. With this change of formations, it's not easy to do that on the spot. As easy as it seems just to be, fall back and let the ball play in front of me, it's very challenging to play a very aggressive style and then play very passive just in the blink of an eye.
Absolutely, Matt. As a player of 3 years back in high school, I can tell you that is a hard thing to come to because it's all about a mental approach. And I've heard a lot of people say that tennis is a mental game, and that absolutely rings true.
MTSU looking for the break here. And they will get it. Huge break there for MTSU to jump out to a 2-1 lead going into their serve.
And they have found something out there in the front with Eloise. She is absolutely piling up the balls right there. She's looking to eliminate this team like Cody Rhodes eliminated people from the Royal Rumble last night. And she's doing an effective job of that right now. Going to be interesting to see if she can keep it up.
Indeed, indeed. Getting those early breaks, lets you have that momentum going into your own serves. And, it makes it a little bit easier for you to play your style of tennis.
Right.
You're not having to always climb back up and, try to fight your way to a victory. So glad to see, Noel and Eloise jumping out to that early break. Hopefully to, take the set.
All righty. It's going to be interesting to see, like you said, and I think we're going to go over to court one now.
Going to court one indeed. Ekaterina and Layla over here for Bellarmine versus Love Star and Ruchaja for MTSU.
Looks like currently under break. You see that Tikonko and Bashir up on a 2-1 lead. They've been a very effective doubles team as well. They've had some success. That's been one of the bigger bright spots for Bellarmine thus far this year. And when you're taking the MTSU #1 of Love Star Alexis and Rutuja Jeffpalker and taking them to this limit, that shows you've got some talent under the hood for sure.
Absolutely, and that was their leading factor I saw in their wins. Taking that doubles point for Bellarmine is very crucial. That's something if you struggle with, you're already down 1-0 heading into the singles, but taking this doubles point can be very effective for a team.
And if you're Bellarmine and you want to spring the upset here in the Cathedral of Tennis, the Adams Tennis Complex, then what better way than to take that doubles point and take the initiative early? That makes a statement to your opponent that you're not going to back down. Sometimes players can almost get intimidated by that. For MTSU, they've got to continue to play their brand of game if they want to keep up with this lead.
Absolutely indeed. Like we were talking about with Noel and Eloise, you can't, get too down on yourself when you fall behind, 1 point. You need 6 to win. And so you got plenty of time, still to figure out your game, trying to fight back and bounce back and, taking this early doubles point. Beautiful serve there by Rutuja.
Yes, it was. And there really wasn't much that, Bellarmine could do about that. And again, that comes all back to that speed and placement. Sometimes even the best players in the world can't stop a serve when it's coming at you that quickly and with that kind of placement.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's just like, in the MLB, some pitchers, they might not throw the fastest heat, but if they can paint their corners, they can be very effective.
That's a great way to put it, and it's the same way. Tennis and baseball aren't exactly the same, but at the end of the day, the players still swing their rackets, and they have to be ready for those fastballs. And it looks like that's going to be a double fault there. That's the risk you take when you're aggressive also, Matt, because you can try to fit it in the box, but sometimes it doesn't work out and you end up costing yourself a point. So all comes down to balance at the end of the day, but Rutuja's got that resiliency that I don't think it's going to shake her that much for sure.
Very well said. Again, you try to play aggressive. You're trying to get a quick serve in there, but sometimes it can be more hurtful than impactful for you.
Yes.
Looks like another double fault for Rutuja.
Man, 2 straight double faults for Rutuja now. And we talked about the mental aspect of the game. This is when you can't let that mental aspect overtake you. You got to just continue to play with confidence, play with your style, and just accept that, hey, I made a mistake.
Indeed, indeed. You know, they are the court one for a reason. You know, even if they're going to fall behind, they're still going to bounce back and fight hard. So, you know, got to see some resilience here for the court one. Nice play there by Love Star.
And that was perfect placement by Love Star, too, right up and over the net. And he almost put the spin cycle on that ball as well. And as a player, you think the ball's going to go one way, and it went the other way. That's exactly what Bellarmine thought there and ended up costing them. But that is, again, just great placement, great spin on the ball. That's exactly what you're looking for whenever you're hitting the ball back.
Absolutely. But these serves, you know, we see these high-flying serves, these fastballs coming in. But then even it's, you know, the light taps that just barely get over the net, that can be very effective for a team. Bellarmine here looking to get a break point again, up 40-30 here on court one.
Yeah, and sometimes the sense of urgency with a doubles match is almost more up-tempo than a singles match because you don't have a second set or third set to fall back on if you're MTSU. You understand that you got to win, and you got to win now. That's going to make this all the more crucial for them. You definitely don't want to fall behind 3-1.
Looks like we got a break point here for Bellarmine on court one. Again, like you said, going down 3-1 is very hard to come back from a doubles match compared to a singles. Because, again, like you said, you don't have the second and third one to fall back on. You know, it's one and done here. So, you know, you got to see. Maybe we can, you know, have a little magic occur. You know, coming down 3-1, just like in any sport, it's not easy to come back from. So maybe, you know, but Love Star and Ratuja are court one for a reason. They can come back from these big deficits, and let's see if it can happen today.
That one fell outside, and I'm noticing a lot of Ratuja's balls right now are kind of going further back, almost towards that back line, and you see Coach Teo having a conversation with them, probably trying to get Ratuja calmed down, trying to let her understand, hey, you know what, you're making mistakes right now, but you can't let it get in your own head. You just got to make sure to hit the ball with a little bit less velocity to find your mark, and you'll be just fine.
See Katarina for Bellarmine here with the serves and just, you know, again, playing that aggressive style, you know, going up, you know, towards the net, not playing back and not letting the ball, you know, keep it in front of her. So, you know, again, a big risky play there, but it seems like to be paying off for Bellarmine here.
Yeah, it was a good response by Tinkoko right there, and let this one play out. For the second straight time, Love Star ends up getting close to the net, and it kind of just falls short. I like the idea. I know what she's going for. She wants that slight overhook above the net, but that's a very hard shot to pull off, and sometimes it ends up biting you.
Katarina and Layla looking to make quick work here into the fourth. Oh. Double fault there for Katarina. Maybe this is a, you know, a tide changer for the MTSU Lady Raiders here on court one.
Very well could be. You saw Tinkoko kind of shake her head right there, and, you know, understandably so, because that's a mistake that you just don't want to make when you got your opponent on the ropes. You've given them life, and maybe life is all that they need. Maybe just that little sliver of a chance.
Bellarmine takes the fourth set here.
Yeah, that's going to make this all the more difficult for MTSU with Love Star and, Chapalker to come back in this, because it's going to be very difficult with that 4-1 deficit. They're going to have a bit of a mountain to climb, but these two players have a lot of talent under the hood, and they're going to have the opportunity to do that.
Absolutely. You know, Love Star and Ratuja come in here. You know, they've been, you know, very consistently, you know, high-end talent here for the Lady Raiders, and it's something to maybe look forward to, maybe if they can pull off the comeback. So now as we move to court 3, we have Gupta and Schmidt versus Reiner and Varnum here as a 4-0 lead for MTSU here.
Yeah, you want to talk about two different scripts over here on court 3. It has been all MTSU. Muscon and LSS, Lily Sophie Schmidt, playing with a lot of fire. And again, Lily Sophie Schmidt, the lone unbeaten player on MTSU right now. 4-0 singles, 1-0 doubles, and she straight up personifies the term winner. She brings a lot of that to this team, and Muscon herself has a lot of talent as well, and these two blend really well as a doubles team.
Indeed. Like we stated before, Lily Sophie Schmidt has been the closer for the past 2 matches here at the Cathedral of Tennis, hoping to maybe see, third time's the charm again today.
They're going to count that off because the ball actually entered the court. Kind of just went right by on the left side of your screen, kind of just hit the corner. So we'll try this again. Ooh, that's a costly double fault right there.
Now we were talking about earlier on court 1 going down 4-1. You had that 1 point for MTSU on court 1, but going down 5-0 is something that not a lot of people can conquer.
No, it's not. And there's a reason for that, because 5-0 is basically a deadlock. It's hard to be able to overcome that kind of gap because you have to play 6 perfect games, actually 7 perfect games in a row, because you'd have to get to the tiebreaker. That's the best you can hope for. That's asking a lot of a player, especially when you've had this much trouble with the same opponent. There's a reason they don't happen very often, because it's a near impossibility.
Absolutely, absolutely. Lily Sophie and Muscon here trying to close it out early, get that, first court advantage here in the doubles. Then when you're up 1-0 on a court, you only have to secure 1 more court.
Yes.
And so it plays a little bit, into your favor as your opponent, your team can now play the style of tennis that they want to play and, not have to, have their backs against the walls for every match.
As well as also giving yourself a little bit more rest before the singles match. You don't have to exhaust yourself so much with doubles, and that gives you even more power coming up in the singles showdown. Bit of a mistake that time from LSS, right up against the net. See Coach Teo talking to her about that.
You can really see the passion for Lily Sophie when she's out here on the court. She shows all of her emotions, even through the good and the bad. And, you love to see that from a player because, some players, everyone wants to have that stone cold mentality. But, at times you got to, can't be too down on yourself.
Right.
And, Lily Sophie, plays that, perfectly. When she needs to be on, aggressive on herself, got to be playing better. She bounces back just like that.
Yeah, she bounced back and bounced that ball into the sky that time, and you see the smile. Like you mentioned, she's a player who plays with a lot of emotion. She knew that was just a mistake last time. That's on her. But you can overcome that. You can come back from that. You don't have to let it define your game. And she's been on this team for a couple years now. She understands that wholeheartedly and allows her to play with such ferocity every time.
Back-to-back. Beautiful plays by Lily Sophie here.
Beautiful cross-court return that time. And again, as a player, there's no way I can defend that. If I see that, I'm just like, well, I'm checking out of here, getting out of the party, because there's no way I'm going to be able to return that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think you could be put right in front of where that ball's going to land, and still, it was just placed so perfectly that there's nothing much you can do about it. Nice answer back there by Reiner and Varnum for Bellarmine.
Yes. You just have to keep playing that consistent game. But I can tell you, Muskan and Lily Sophie, they're not going to be shaken by this at all.
Indeed, and something, for Lily Sophie and Muscon is, don't take your foot off the gas.
Yes.
Even though you're up 5-0, if you play, try to play too conservative and you're trying to, just kind of conserve, the energy, you got to, get this match done, get it out of the way so you're not having to worry about it later on into the game.
Let's see. Ball went out on the court there. We'll see what they rule. I think they're going to throw this one out and try that again.
That's what it seems.
Nope, they're going to count it, looks like.
Guess the ball did not affect the outcome of the play, so giving that point over to Bellarmine.
Yeah, I think Lily Sophie was arguing her point there, but apparently the ITA official didn't see it or didn't think it mattered, so here we go.
Break point there for Bellarmine. Again, like you said, going one game at a time. You can't win all of them in just in one big swoop. So, you got to play game by game. You got to slowly, mount a comeback here. And alrighty. So as we just saw, a 5-1 over there on court 3.
Yes.
And trying to execute that quick early, exit off of there. As we're gonna head to court 1 here with Love Star and Rutuja, who is down 5-1 as well. So, one MTSU is 5-1, and then one is Bellarmine 5-1.
Yes. A reversal of fortune right here.
Alrighty, and it looks like MTSU is up 4-2 on court 2, which could be the deciding factor here for the doubles match.
Looks like they're going to rule that one was out. So Love Star and Rutuja live to fight another day. Much like we were talking about on the other court, it's all about one game at a time right here. Even though the deficit is very, very daunting, you can come back. You just have to keep playing perfect tennis. And while it isn't easy, it is possible.
Absolutely. Never say never is, a motto you got to live by because, we've seen weird stuff happen here.
Not going to happen this time, though.
And now we'll wrap up court 1 here. Love Star and Rutuja go down to Ekaterina and Layla here for Bellarmine. Bellarmine jumping out to a 1-court advantage here in the doubles.
That's a huge win and a huge confidence booster for the Knights. That's exactly the kind of victory that they needed. A lot of people probably not giving Bellarmine much of a chance, but this kind of victory makes a statement, and that makes the other doubles matches all the more important moving forward.
Indeed, indeed. So we're going to be heading back to court 3 where we are up 40-love here for MTSU, and that will wrap it up. Lily, Sophie, and Muskan wrapping up the third court here. So now we are going to be going down to a deciding court 2 matchup.
Yeah, LSS and Muskan putting it together, putting all the pieces together right at the end, shutting it down like it's late night at Starbucks and making things happen. That's what you like to see. And now it comes down to this court. Very, very crucial game here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Noelle and Eloise, as we were talking earlier into the, broadcast that, Eloise, again, coming off, not playing in our, latest matchups, still trying to figure out her footing on, the ground today. But see here with the serve. MTSU up 4-3. Court 1 was taken by Bellarmine. Court 2 was taken, or court 3, my apologies, was taken by MTSU. So again, deciding factor here for court 2.
That one just fell to the outside, but you kind of saw what they were looking for there, and it's been interesting watching Eloise's serve. She doesn't really hit it with her full force. It's almost like more of a bounce serve. Let's see if we can catch it here. There it goes.
Bellarmine now up 30-15. And as you said, Eloise is very different than most, standard serves. It's kind of like that sidearm pitcher, submarine, style where, just different arm slots can, really affect the player's, track on the ball. So curious to see how that plays effect here.
Yeah, that usually is about placement when a player does that.
Looks like another point over there for Bellarmine. Now 40-15, looking to tie this match up here.
And that would be absolutely huge, especially considering they were facing a 2-4 deficit not that long ago.
This match is not done yet, as that is another point for MTSU here to tie it all up at deuce.
And if you're Morrow and Swarbrick, you don't want to give Bellarmine any kind of opening here. You want to make sure that they don't have any opportunity to close in on you. This is when you got to shut the front door and close this thing down. And I think that both of them probably realize that. That's why they think it's time to be aggressive.
I think that is going to be a break for Bellarmine here. Now to tie it up 4-4.
Yes.
Again, going in 4-4, now you're a little bit more comfortable. Your back's not completely up against the wall, so now you can play a little bit more of your style of tennis here. So we got to see Noel and Eloise really, fire back on the defense here.
You see Bellarmine head coach Brian Slack discussing matters with the two players, and he's a guy that's won in this program to rebound as well. Didn't have the first year he's looking for, but a guy who's won multiple JUCO national titles. Trying to do that again at Bellarmine.
Nice play there by Bellarmine. Shu Grosso there.
Yeah, Shu Grosso with a very nice placement of the ball right up against the net. 15 love. For MTSU, you're starting to feel a little bit like you're on the back pedal. And again, it's all about that mental game. Don't let that get to you. You know you've allowed them to come back into this game, but you got to treat it like it's 0-0 at this point. If you don't, you're going to let it get to your head, and it's going to affect your performance on the court.
Absolutely, absolutely. But we know Noel and Eloise have that, fighter mentality. They never get too down on themselves. Never, no mountain is too hard for them to climb.
Yes.
Bellarmine out to a 30 love here. Lee sends it a little too far out there.
Yeah, a little bit too far out there. And again, when you hit the ball that hard, it's almost like living in a bounce house. It might be fun at the start, but eventually all your furniture can get broken and it ends up making things worse. So that's when you got to make sure to nail it down and get the exact placement. I think that's what Eloise will be trying to do here in the future.
Absolutely. You're just looking for that little slimmer of hope, looking to get that first 15 on the board and then slowly make your way back. And as that, unfortunately, will not be occurring for MTSU here. Going down 5-4 in a very crucial final match point here.
Yeah, Matt, Bellarmine is feeling it right now. You can tell they're playing with that confidence and that intensity that Bellarmine's been looking for all year. And this is the moment when they can make a statement. If you get the doubles point here, MTSU is going to start to feel it. They're going to feel the heat coming from underneath that chair. And it's going to be up to them to respond. Bellarmine's in the catbird seat right now. Let's see if they can take advantage of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Getting this quick doubles point, that means, that's one less singles you have to worry about.
Yes.
That's, you only got to capture 3 more singles matches there. But going down 1-0 is not something to overcome easily because you're winning over half of the singles courts at that point.
Yes.
So getting this doubles point is very crucial for both schools. And it's something, we saw with Bellarmine's win on the season against NIU is they secured that doubles point, and that's, what led the momentum to them to secure that victory.
That's going to be the crucial thing going forward. If they get this doubles point, I think that's going to be the blueprint. And they've been in some close games before. There were a couple games before that Northern Illinois victory where they lost 3-4. If they can get this doubles point, that might be the difference and the one thing they need to pull out a victory.
And now as we're going to head back down to court 2 here.
You hear the choir at the cathedral cheering on Eloise and Noel. Fan support is so crucial here. They're going to do everything in their power to try to get this team to a victory. And if you don't think tennis is a crowd sport, well, I want you to take a listen right now.
Quick 15 love for MTSU here. Again, you got to go serve by serve. You can't get too ahead of yourselves. You know, you just take it, you know, serve by serve. If you get too far, and then you're going to get, you know, make simple mistakes that you shouldn't be making because you're too much into your head.
And Noelle, she plays with a lot of authority. Look for that in this play style coming up. Notice also how she shifts her placement whenever she's serving between the first and second. Kind of shows the experimental nature. And oh, a double fault there.
See Eloise coming to her teammate's side, telling her, "Hey, look, still 15 all here. Nothing to worry about. Still come back here."
That's that bond between teammates that we're seeing right now, Matt. As a player, I've been in those situations. You're getting frustrated at yourself. You're letting it get to you. It's always nice to have a calming presence. You don't always have that with singles, but with doubles, you absolutely do, and it's definitely a great thing whenever you have it.
We see here. Court 2, Bellarmine again up 5-4 with a 30-15 advantage here, heading into a crucial doubles point on the brink.
Yeah, and I'd love to hear what they were saying, honestly, because I'm sure there's a lot of strategic communication going on between those two right now. And we'll see, there's probably going to be a change in style potentially. Look for something different coming up.
Beautiful placement there by Eloise.
Man, perfect execution that time, and there was the change in style we were looking for. Eloise played very close to the front while Noelle was aiming for the back line. Then when the perfect position came around, we saw Eloise strike with that quick serve right there. That's exactly what MTSU needed. Now it's 30-all. Now they've got an opportunity.
Absolutely. Noelle was setting it up perfectly. You know, going very long range with it, and then Eloise is coming in with a nice little tap over to the net in a perfect placement there.
Yes.
See Shu Grosso putting a little heat on there.
That looked like a John Elway pass against the Cleveland Browns on the drive. That was incredible, just how that ball went right down Main Street. There was really nothing that Eloise or Morrow could do. That's a placement thing, and you know, that's one where you might get upset about it, but you can't really help but tip your cap to your opponent because that's a ball you usually just can't get. But now this match point becomes that much more crucial.
And that will do it. That will clinch the doubles point for Bellarmine. As you can see, Noelle very frustrated with herself. But again, you know, you still have the singles match, so you can't get too far ahead of yourself. You can't, can't get too down on yourself. Got to bounce back. You know, you're still in this. As crucial as the double points can be, you can still win the game.
Yeah, and I got to say this about MTSU. A lot of times, sometimes you got to get warmed up. A lot of times in the doubles match, you don't play your best brand of tennis because you're still trying to figure out how you're going to play and what kind of play style you need to use against an opponent. There's still a lot of time for MTSU to come back in this one. I have full confidence that they can. I think that they will as well. It's going to be a fun matchup, though. We've seen that Bellarmine's here to play. They're not going to back down at all. It's going to be a fun one going into singles, Matt.
Indeed, indeed. And a very quick recap here for the people just joining us. On court one, we had Katarina and Layla for Bellarmine versus Lovestar and Ratuja there on court one, taking a 6-1 quick match there. But then, we saw just on court two, Bendula and Shu, coming out in a very hard-fought match there to clinch the doubles point over Noelle and Eloise. But on court three, we saw very impressive play over there by MTSU for Lily Sophie Muscon heading into the singles there. So, after our break, we're going to see, very crucial singles matches, and we'll hopefully see an MTSU win after that.
That's the idea, and it's going to be interesting to see how MTSU approaches this, but this is the time when we're going to see if MTSU can step up and if they can come out and really attack Bellarmine in the way they want to.
Indeed, indeed. And for those viewing us on our Middle Tennessee Sports YouTube channel and the CUSA TV audience, we'll catch you later after this break.
Mental health affects us all, whether you finish first or last.
Whether you win or lose.
The stigma around these issues causes those around us to suffer in silence.
Mental health is nothing to be ashamed of.
You are not alone.
You are not alone. As a student athlete,
As a teammate,
As a friend,
we pledge to continue the conversation.
because it matters.
because you matter.
stand up to the stigma.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Continue the conversation.
You are not alone.
I have a voice.
You have a voice.
We have a voice.
Our voices can be heard
Outside of sports.
As student athletes,
we have a platform.
Now more than ever.
It's important that we listen, learn, and lead.
and raise our voices for change.
We can all do more.
Now is the time
To make a difference.
This is our chance.
This is our chance to make a better tomorrow.
Together, we will continue the conversation.
We have a voice.
On June 23, 1972, Title IX was signed into law, and it reads, "No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or..."
Mental health affects us all, whether you finish first or last.
Whether you win or lose.
The stigma around these issues causes those around us to suffer in silence.
Mental health is nothing to be ashamed of.
You are not alone.
You are not alone. As a student athlete,
As a teammate,
As a friend,
We pledge to continue the conversation.
because it matters.
because you matter.
stand up to the stigma.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Continue the conversation.
You are not alone.
welcome back all to the Adams Tennis Complex as we are on our singles matches here for MTSU versus Bellarmine. And we do have a new guest joining us on air today. We have our sideline reporter today, Ryan Martinlich, here to help discuss the singles. All right, now as we'll head down to court 2 where we have Ekaterina Tikhonko versus Sonia Gargani here.
Game just starting right here. Actually still under practice right now. You see the ITA official not up on the chair of authority. You know, we talk about practice. Practice a lot of times is where you learn the most about your opponent, maybe more than anything else, or at least that's where you can set a framework for how you're going to approach this game moving forward.
Absolutely. And indeed, Allen Iverson fans out there, we are talking about practice today.
That's right. What's the old saying? Practice makes perfect, right?
Indeed, indeed. So now as we discussed with our sideline reporter, Ryan, again, being a very crucial match here heading into the singles.
Yes.
You know, Ekaterina is their top player here for Bellarmine. As she's playing down on court 2, hoping to try to secure a point here in the singles for Bellarmine.
Yeah, and that was likely a strategic decision by Coach Slack. Probably wanted to ensure he could maybe get a victory, but I'll tell you this, Sonia's not going to back down. She's a player who plays with a lot of grit, toughness, and determination, and she's ready. You can tell she's ready to go, and she's ready for the challenge. I think she'll have all the tools that she'll need to be able to pull off this victory. This is probably going to be one of the more fun matchups we'll see. So it looks like the match actually was going on. Our apologies there. Looks like it's already 1-0, and Sonia's got the lead.
There we go, jumping out to an early 1-0 lead here. I guess the chair judge was a Harry Potter fan, has a cloak of invisibility, so I guess we just didn't see him there.
Looks like he's probably working both games at the moment. Sometimes you got to pull double duty.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Sonia's got such velocity off of her serves. Even though that one missed the mark, if she gets it in the next time, it's going to be hard for Tikhonko to respond there. Yeah, that was a disappointment there for Tikhonko. She was trying to fit it in the seam, but she went a little bit too far to the outside. And Sonia will take that one all day, every day.
Absolutely, absolutely. nice rally there from Tihanko and Garen Connie.
Looks like Tihanko will get the point. They were walking the line like Johnny Cash that time, Matt. They were all up against it, trying to fit the ball in. And in that situation, it usually comes down to who makes the first mistake. And that's a matter of inches. It can be a matter of inches to whether or not you get the ball inside. And that was a great rally, as you mentioned, by those two. But it comes down to accuracy. It's such a underrated commodity, but a big thing in the sport of tennis.
Nice put away there by Tihanko.
Yeah, Sonia was on roller skates that time, kind of had to backpedal, and Tihanko saw her opening and absolutely slammed it down the pipe. Nothing that Sonia could do there.
Very unusual judging match here, as you know, see again, kind of working double duty for the chair judge today.
It's a hard thing to do, but he's a true MVP out there right now.
See Tihanko there coming out. No rebounding, coming down 1-0. Still playing that aggressive style of tennis.
Yeah, Sonia tried to chop that one that time, but she just didn't have enough velocity to get it over the net. It's that risk versus reward thing we've talked about.
Might be in for Tihanko. Beautiful placement there.
Yeah, she absolutely buried it that time. And Sana, again, just kind of trying to approach it in the back line. Just couldn't get the placement right. A lot of that comes down to footwork, too. Footwork has such a huge impact on how you are able to attack the ball, especially on these rebounds.
Again, Tihanko, probably Bellarmine's, top player here over on court two. Again, a strategy item for Brian Slack here, trying to, secure a point here into the singles.
He's great at in-game adjustments and even pre-game adjustments, and I think that's exactly what he's going for here. Trying to find a way to assure a victory, and especially if they could get the doubles point, that would make this singles victory all the bigger and, show the greatness of that adjustment.
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, for those just joining us, Bellarmine secured the doubles point, up 1-0 on MTSU here heading into the singles. So MTSU, to secure the victory here, needs to win 4 out of the 6 singles matches here, which is, one court over half, which is a lot easier said than done.
It's a lot easier said than done, but at some point you got to just buckle down and go for it. MTSU's got what it takes. It's just going to be about execution.
Nice battle there for Sonia.
Yeah, not enough clearance on the net that time for Tihanko. Couldn't get it up over. And Sana gets the break that she needed. This game continues to be very competitive. Seems like very two evenly matched players. Could come down to who gets the last break here.
Beautiful placement there by Sana. Again, just nothing you can do when those are just right up against you, and trying to get it over the net almost the full length of the court is really hard.
I love the power strike that time from Sana. She absolutely buried that one in the hole. And Tinkalko couldn't do anything really at all when that ball came that far fast. And that's another great respect of Sana, just absolutely showing what she's capable of when she's able to hit the ball with that kind of velocity.
Absolutely, absolutely indeed. Beautiful ball placement there by Tihanko. As we saw Sana, responding with a couple of beautiful balls placed on herself where Tihanko can't do much, and, Tihanko responded back.
And that'll take him to the next break. This is going to be an interesting one to watch, Matt, as this game progresses forward. I would look to this potentially to be as the match that could potentially decide the game between MTSU and Bellarmine. I've got a feeling we're going to come back to this one.
Absolutely, absolutely. I do not see that being, a quick match. I see that being a dogfight.
Yes.
From start to finish, could be the deciding factor here for either squad.
Yep.
And so something to look forward to later on. But one court I'm interested in is definitely the Lily Sophie Schmidt and Chu Grosso court.
Yes.
Because again, as we've been stating before, that they are, Lily Sophie Schmidt has been the closer, the Mariana Rivera for this team. As she's been closing out games, being the securing court. So let's see what we can see here.
Not quite able to get it that time. You kind of see the frustration, hands on hips for LSS, but she was looking for the clearance right over the net. And again, just a little bit short that time. It's all about in-game adjustments for her.
Absolutely, and as we discussed during her doubles matches, someone that plays with a lot of emotion on the court.
Yes.
She gives her heart and soul, as all these athletes do, for the wonderful game of tennis, and especially Lily Sophie, wears, the Blue Raider with pride. She, lives and breathes with the Blue Raider Nation. So you love to see an athlete who, is out there trying to, represent the score that she goes for.
Yes. That one falls into the net, and looks like those two will head for another quick set here. Lily Sophie has been in a lot of dogfights recently, as you've mentioned. You got to wonder if that also puts a toll on you physically. She had a heck of a game yesterday to deal with. It'll be interesting to see if that has any effect today.
Another ball in net for Lily Sophie.
Yeah, a little too short that time. She was going for the cross court, but she didn't have the angle on it. That comes down to that accuracy we've mentioned once again. Getting the right angle on the ball is such an underrated thing when it comes to tennis, but it all comes down to how you hit it, how you're able to get the racket on it. And that is also about positioning.
Again, as we're heading into the break, Lily Sophie Schmidt and Chu Grasso, again, a match to look forward to for the future. Is as one that could go, almost, it probably has potential to go to all three. And
Very well could.
We could see a dogfight through all three of them. So curious to see how that plays into effect.
Well, we see it at a 2-1 score right now. Lily Sophie, one of the things that she's had to deal with is also coming back from a lot of deficits as time goes forward. She's had to deal with that a lot, and she's going to be able to use this potentially as motivation moving into the rest of the game as a way to come back in and really perform the way she wants to.
Absolutely, absolutely, indeed. And again, you can't let the emotions get the best of you.
Right.
Lily Sophie is someone that plays with, all emotions out there. She lets it know how she feels about her own play, especially. But it's something, she has to, learn to battle through and not let it get the best of her.
Yes.
And something that could be very crucial for both sides here going in. As we're going to head to court 5 here. And MTSU here on court 5. As we have Noelle jumping out to a quick 3-0.
Yeah, Noelle, again, doing what she does, and that's domination. She absolutely has that domination inside of her. She's been on a tear as of late, looking to do it again. That's the style she plays with. That's the way she likes it.
Again, Noelle Morrow out here, quick 3-0 over Bellarmine's Hanley Reiner here.
And a lot of times as a player, if you get out to those quick starts, it can almost frustrate your opponent because they don't think that they can hang with you anymore. And even if you do start to feel a little bit more fatigued, again, it gets into them mentally. They're not able to play at the same level that they want to.
Absolutely, and something that we have discussed all day is Noelle loves to have these quick matches here into the singles, as she's usually the first court done in our past 2 victories here.
She likes to have that extra rest time. Looks like Noelle's going to roll that one out, and she gets yet another point added to her total. She has been feeling it these past few days, and I got to say, I'm excited to see where she goes in the future because she's playing with a momentum, with a confidence that is really hard to find in any kind of tennis player. She's playing with it right now, and she's found something that's really working well for her.
Absolutely. You know, Noelle is being, just the heart and soul of the team, it feels like. If she's up, then the team's up. But if she's down, it could bring the whole team down. She's, she, loves to cheer on her team. Even though she's the first one, she's also the first one there cheering on her team, making sure to show sportsmanship.
Look how far back Noelle hangs on these serve returns also.
It's like another call out there.
Another serve coming. Again, you see just how far back she gives space here. That allows her to get more clearance and more of an idea of how she's going to be able to return a ball. A few seconds, despite how quick it is exactly what you might need to be able to return the ball the way you want to, and also keep a ball from skating right past you.
Absolutely. As you can see, she loves to play back, loves to, keep the ball in front of her, but she knows when she has to go push up and attack.
Yes.
And that's something you see, in a great player like Noelle.
One of the toughest things for a player is trying to establish that balance, as you mentioned. And she's definitely finding something similar to that. It's hard to perfect it, but she's definitely on her way, and I think she's going to be a player to watch for the rest of this game and certainly in the future.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're heading into a break here in Court 5. And like we said, with Court 5 being there with Noelle, a game that you go into and you expect greatness.
Yes.
And it's one of those things that you just have to see, her audacity when she plays. She plays with that, special skill set that, you don't see in a lot of players. She knows when she has to be on the aggression, and she knows when she has to sit back and be conservative. And as we saw, and we also saw in both her doubles and singles match that she was playing aggressive on her doubles. It wasn't working out for her, so she went back to her conservative play style, and you saw it was working out for her very well even here in her singles. Head back into Court 5 here with Noelle up 5-0 here in the first set.
Right now she's got Dale Earnhardt levels of intimidation coming from what she's doing. Reiner isn't really able to counter what she's been hitting so far. Noelle's really scouted her out. Very intelligent player, and she's able to find what works very quickly, and that can create a problem for any opponent she goes up against.
Have the loose ball here over on Court 5. Something to take into consideration here is if Noelle does secure this first, set 6-0, it could be very, hard to overcome that.
Yes.
Going down, 6-0 in the first one, it just feels like it could, take the wind out of your sails, as you weren't able to scratch together, any momentum there. But Reiner's a good player, and so she's going to be able to bounce back and fight back, and so Noelle still has to be on game.
I'll say this. You see players sometimes drop a first set 6-1, 6-2. They can come back, but dropping the first set 6-0 and coming back, it's rare. It does not usually happen because that shows a clear difference of play style and a clear difference of ability on that given day. it's going to be hard for Reiner to come back from that if that does indeed end up being the case. But again, Noel playing on another level right now.
Hit into the net for Reiner. Again, Noel, 5-0 lead here in the first set. You know, the momentum is in MTSU's favor, even dropping the doubles point. As we can see, you know, you have courts up 5-0 in your favor. It's, you know, as a player in any sport, you know, people look up at the scoreboard, and that can give them momentum. And, you know, you can see, you know, you got to bring your team together here, you know, especially MTSU dropping that doubles point. It really needs to, you know, buckle down here into the singles.
Looks like that one was in. It was just barely. So Reiner lives to fight another day for now in the first set. But Noel is hot on her heels once again. And that means that every single hit and every single serve has to be perfect from Reiner from here on out. Looks like that's going to do it, Matt.
Looks like that is a securing first set here for Noel. Very big momentum here heading into the singles. And as we saw, you know, Noel was very, you know, conservative there in that first set. So, you know, she was playing back, playing smart, trying to get that first set under her, you know, under her arms. And so now heading in, you just need to secure one more and you secure the court. And that could be very big for MTSU heading into there.
Well, she might not be the first Noel, but the first set goes to Noel right here. Really showing her confidence and her ability, as we've been seeing and talking about all day. Noel's playing really, really confident tennis right now. That bodes well for her in the future, and I think she's going to have a really good chance of closing this out in the second set in dominant fashion as well.
Absolutely, absolutely, indeed. And as we, you know, as we've seen, you know, Noel loves to be, you know, she does really quick work, and you know, going up 6-0 is pretty quick work to me.
Yes, that's very, very quick work, and again, that not only inspires her, but it inspires her teammates. If they see a player playing like that, it almost kind of infects the team. They want to play with that same level of effort and determination in their play as well. This could very well be a confidence booster for the entire team if they see Noel get a point early. Makes you feel a little bit better about your chances for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Another driving factor, again, like we've been saying, is the crowd.
Yes.
You know, these girls live off the crowd. They live off their energy, and they live off, you know, trying to secure those early points. And as we see here, just talking about with Noel, we have another 5-0 for MTS here on court 6 for Ratuja and Channing here.
Yeah, Channing Varnum, the lone senior on Bellarmine right now, but Ratuja is having herself a day right now. Love that right there from Ratuja. The little pop fly, kind of nonchalantly just puts it over Varnum's head. That's some great experience right there, and that's a great placement of the ball for Ratuja. She's found something really good here.
Very nice rally there from both sides. As you can see, you know, Ratuja, she's playing, you know, that style of tennis that she knows she's in the driver's seat.
Yes.
And is going to play the style of tennis that she wants to play. And so, you know, it could be very impactful here.
Yeah, this set, she's imitating Djokovic right now with her ability. Last night, what he did in the Australian Open. She's having that same sort of feeling right now in this game against Varnum. She might be the younger of the two players, but you wouldn't know it by the way she's approaching this. She's got a lot of those veteran instincts already. That's going to bode well for her in the rest of this game and in the future.
And Matuja heading into this up 5-0. Looking to secure that for her and the Blue Raiders.
Yeah, that ball kissed the very center of the net. Trying for the underhand, didn't have enough to work on it on the air. We saw Varnum, we heard her say that she ruled it was out, and I believe that will be the case here.
I will say, beautiful play there by Varnum. You know, even with those that just right over the net, she was still able to overcome it and still, you know, buckle down and secure.
And Varnum's starting to get a little bit of momentum back, maybe even just the slightest bit. Matuja being frustrated a little bit, and Varnum with an opportunity potentially.
Like we were talking about with Ratuja's teammate Noel, that, you know, even though you're up 5-0, you got to keep your foot on the gas. You can't, you know, play too conservative where now you're, you know, allowing them to gain momentum and come back into this match.
Yes. A little too far that time by Ratuja. She'd been hitting him too short, so it's almost like she tried to overcompensate and go farther out. Couldn't find the balance, and it's going to be key for her to find that balance here very soon.
Now Ratuja on to serve here. Beautiful ball placement there by Ratuja. Just nothing you can do there if you're Varnum.
Yeah, I'd like to call that one the merry-go-round ball because she absolutely spanned that thing for everything it was worth. That was a beautiful job right along the line, perfect spin. That's about as close to a perfect ball as you're going to get.
Again, Ratuja up 5-0 here. Again, trying to secure that first set, trying to put it away here, get that early advantage here.
Yeah, we've seen how Varnum is continuing to find out more and more about how Ratuja is playing this as time goes on. You can almost see the gears turning inside of her mind, and then it comes out with her play style. It's going to be interesting to see how Ratuja adapts. That's one right there that Varnum's going to want back. She tried to slice it and dice it, but it went too far out. She was looking for the back line that time, but just didn't have enough air underneath it. Ends up falling to the outside.
Fault there on Ratuja.
So Varnum gets the victory there, and that going to extend this game just a little bit longer, much like we saw with the other 5-0 run that Noel had. These Bellarmine players not quite quitting on the set yet, and they're making it a little bit tougher. And that adds maybe just that little more of frustration for MTSU players to deal with.
Absolutely. Again, like we've been saying, you know, you just take it serve by serve. You know, you can't get it all in one, so you just got to play the style of tennis that, you know, that's gotten you here. You just got to play, you know, into your favor.
Yes. And looks like that will bring it to the bench. We'll get more on that in a second. And it looks like they are going to head to the bench for a moment.
And again, Rotuja out to an early lead there in the first set. So, playing very, dominant style of tennis there, looking at something to, build that momentum off of, trying to secure that match, that match point for MTSU. Heading down 0-1 into the singles. Again, a very high mountain to climb, but not impossible. We've seen it done, for both men and women here at the Cathedral. And so, they just got to battle back, play their style of tennis that's gotten here, and, has secured victories.
Yeah, we're going to go split screen now here, folks. 1 and 2 at the same time. And we can report that court 6 is a 6-1 score, so MTSU gets the victory there, Matt.
Indeed, indeed. And again, another very crucial first set, securing for MTSU. As we see here with a double screen, we have courts 1 and 2, both in favor of Bellarmine here. Report also is Noel Morrow. Again, like we said, a player that loves to play, fast-paced tennis here. Out to an early 2-0 into the second set.
Sana and Love Star struggling at the moment, and we'll see. Sana's heading to the bench. That might have done it for the first set there. And if so, that would be a big loss for MTSU, their first set loss of the singles round. Remember, they need 4 of these singles matches to go their way in order to win. Taking 2 set losses early would not be ideal by any stretch.
Indeed. You see Love Star trying to climb back down from the 5-2 deficit here.
Bashir absolutely destroyed that. That was scarier than an empty refrigerator on Thanksgiving, as she just destroyed that ball into the turf that time. And again, Love Star couldn't do anything about that. That's one, as a player, you just have to tip your cap and say, all right, I can't get it. I got to move on to the next play.
Again, getting your courts 1 and courts 2 out to very early leads is very, very, impactful for a team's momentum. As you see your top players, making, pretty easy work at the first set here can be very helpful and beneficial to your, the other courts. Seeing that their team, is out to an early lead on these top 2 courts can really build momentum into securing a victory.
Yeah, we can confirm that Tink Hoko has officially taken that first set, as we mentioned earlier. So Sana down a set early. Things just get all the more crucial here, Matt.
Layla Bashir looking to do the same thing here on court 1.
Standing very close to that center line.
Looks like an out call by Love Star there.
Yeah, went too far back, and that's going to result in Love Star getting a little bit more momentum, just a little bit, maybe start to get in Bashir's head a little bit.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know Love Star, she has that moment, that dog mentality that we like to say, that she's never going to give up, and she's going to always fight back, with her position on court 1, she's got to represent, as being, a foundation leader for the Lady Raiders.
Right, right.
Looks like we had a double fault there for Bashir.
Bashir can't let those little mistakes start to creep into her game, especially when she's had this kind of lead. At this point, I'm sure the coaches will tell you this too. It's all about execution. You want to make sure to execute. No mental errors, no little mistakes. Nothing grinds a coach's gears more than that, right?
You see the second set is starting up here on court 2 on the right side of the screen. Again, just because you drop the first set does not mean that the game is over.
Right.
Unlike doubles, singles is a best 2 of 3 here. So you got to really fight back. Really dig deep. You got to play your style of tennis. It's when we see here with both court 1 and court 2 that you can't get too down on yourself. You know, you still have plenty of time to recover. You just got to make sure you know be effective while on the court, but also you know not try to get too ahead of yourselves because when you're trying to play too quickly, it's easier to make simple mistakes.
Right, and it might be an overstated cliche, but again, for Sana, it's a 0-0 game right now. She takes the first set, she just eliminates that from her mind. At this point, it's all about going out and executing and acting like that didn't even happen. And that's exactly what Sana's going to look to do here.
As we can see, Lovestar taking that last set there.
Makes it 5-3, and that draws her ever closer.
Absolute rocket there by Bashir.
Yeah, Bashir chased that one down and spiked it. Lovestar was almost standing too far to the right that time and ended up costing her. That's going to result in Bashir getting some more momentum. Lovestar going to have to adjust.
Absolutely. And if Lovestar is able to, you know, pull off this comeback, that could be huge momentum change here for MTSU, something that could be very crucial here into the deciding factors.
Something that they could definitely use to their advantage. Bashir playing this a little bit closer up than you normally see, almost right up against that back line. Ooh.
Beautiful setup there by Lovestar, you know, giving Bashir a ball that she couldn't handle really much and letting Lovestar, you know, being able to finish it off.
Man, that hurt me looking at that. Bashir did a splits right up along the green side of the turf and took a bit of a fall. Looks like she's okay, but she went after that one, and sometimes you take those slips as a tennis player, but again, it shows the effort that she's playing with right now. She wants it bad. She knows how crucial it is to get a victory here. She wants to squash any Lovestar Alexis momentum before it even begins.
Just a little too much on there for Lovestar.
She was trying to do the overhead shot trick on Bashir, and she almost had it if she could have had just a little bit less velocity, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't know if she could have even, at that point, hit it over without it getting returned by Bashir. So Lovestar kind of had two choices to make there, and it's a split-second decision in tennis, and she ended up choosing a path that led the ball to be out of bounds.
If you see on the right side of the screen, Sana again, just trying to figure out how to build this momentum here into the second set. Sana dropping first one of the second match. And it seems as on court 3 again, Vendula and Muskan, you know, Vendula up, you know, up there for Bellarmine.
Up 4-5 right now. That's going to be an interesting one to watch, see if Muskan can hang in there, especially when she had an advantage earlier, trying to hopefully come back in that game.
Lovestar again, trying to just get just right over the net, but couldn't get the correct angle on it.
Yeah, she was trying to scoop the icing out of the batter that time, and she just couldn't get it out. Ended up costing her, and that's going to result in a first set victory for Bashir. And Bellarmine continues to build momentum at MTSU is on the ropes.
And again, like we said, you know, taking those first sets in the top two courts, it can be very helpful in the building momentum and building, you know, the effort that you need into securing a victory here tonight.
And I've heard before, you know, you mentioned those top two courts, but for MTSU, they're going to have to rely on their depth right now. Positions 3 through 6, they're going to be need the ones who are going to step up and potentially give MTSU a victory. If MTSU is going to win it, it's going to be on their depth players making key decisions and key wins throughout this game.
Very nice ball there by Muskan.
Muskan buried it in the corner that time. That was a beautiful shot. That's the kind of shots that Muskan is capable of. She loves the corner shots as well, and it's hard as a defender to return that if you can get it just in the perfect placement. It's very hard to hit, but if you can, it's a very, very effective tool.
Again, Muskan here trying to tie it up on her serve.
Yeah, pay attention to this one, too, because it could very well be the one that comes down to the end for MTSU and Bellarmine. Interesting thing that I've noticed about both of these teams, they've been in their fair share of close games this year. We saw Bellarmine get in 2 4-3 games at the start of the season. MTSU, same way. In fact, MTSU's first non-4-3 game was just yesterday against Georgia State. Both teams have struggled closing it out. We'll see how that goes moving forward.
A little too much sauce there on the hit back for Muskan.
Muskan realizes she's in trouble right now. She's trying to avoid going down a set, but Kryslova has a lot of that momentum.
Again, another beautiful corner shot there by Muskan. Again, and a play that would go underrated is that, lollipop over the net to give her time to get back into position, try to keep the rally going there.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot again, right towards that corner. Hit it with the top part of the racket. That's the key here, folks. If you're looking to get it in the corner, usually the top part of the racket, kind of side-arming it, is what you're going to have to do. That's what she did. Perfect execution by Muskan.
An update coming from Court 5. Noelle up 5-0 in the second set, looking to close out her match very early on in the day.
Oh, man, that's going to be one that Muskan wishes she had back. She had it right there, and she just couldn't fit it in the seam, and that looks like it'll do it for the first set. So Kryslova gets a victory on those circumstances. A tough break for Muskan, but she'll have time to redeem herself.
Indeed, indeed. A very close match. It wasn't a one-sided blowout,
Yes.
so, you got to build off the momentum you have there. And then, as you can see, heading over to Court 5, Noelle up 5-0. Look to secure the first point here for the Blue Raiders today. That'll be out on Reiner there.
Man, if you talk about domination, Noelle Morrow, if she can win this without losing a single game, that would definitely be a new record for her. She's had some dominating contests this year, but this one would definitely take the cake.
Indeed, and your team sees that and wants to build off that. Doesn't want that to go to waste.
Good sight by Noelle there. She saw that the ball was out. It's very easy as a player sometimes to keep playing the ball instinctually and thinking that you have to keep going, but hey, sometimes just step to the side, the ball will go out for you. Bit of a mistake that time for Noelle, just a little bit too far that time.
And again, Noelle, a very fast-paced player when it comes into her singles matches. Loves to get, singles just right out the way, getting her team on the board here.
I think Noelle ruled that one out, and the ITA official concurred with her. And Noelle continues to close in. This is when, as a player, you get ready to deliver the finishing blow. It's like the people's elbow or the attitude adjustment if you're familiar with WWE. This is the time to do it as a player.
Again, Noelle taking the first set there, 6-0, looking to duplicate that here in the second. Make it a quick 6-0 sweep for both. That's out again on Reiner, and that seems like it will conclude it.
Noelle Morrow with another dominant victory. She's dropping more pipe bombs on the court than CM Punk does on the mic right now. She's playing with a different kind of emotion and a different kind of level. That's the incredible greatness that Noelle Morrow has showed game in and game out as of late. She is playing on a whole nother level, and it's really a beautiful thing to see. At MTSU, they've got just the thing that they needed to potentially build a firm foundation for more momentum.
Indeed, indeed. And this is, 3 home games.
Yes.
3 times that Noelle has been the first one to finish. And something that's a common occurrence here for women's tennis at MTSU is Noelle loves to get down and dirty and loves to, just get her court out the way. So she's there to be on the sidelines for her teammates and loves to, just fight back. And so one court that I want to go check in on is court 4 with Lily Sophie. See if,
yes.
How the Mariana Rivera of the team is occurring. It seems here as if she has dropped the first set. Again, someone who plays with a lot of emotion. There's a lot going on right now. Has to remember that, she can still fight back from this. She has a skill set to, secure, 2 back-to-back sets, even if she drops the first one.
And she did drop the first set against Austin Peay last Sunday when they played and ended up coming back to win her final 2 sets. So she's been in this position before. I'm sure Coach Teo is talking about that with her right now, trying to get her to realize that she's in the perfect situation. You got plenty of time to come back and win this. It's all about using your momentum to your advantage right now.
Alrighty, and for those just joining us, a quick recap here for the match is MTSU and Bellarmine are tied 1-1, with Bellarmine securing that doubles match again, and MTSU securing their first singles match here, with Noelle taking quick 6-0s for both sets on court 5, and then MTSU also in the driver's seat for court 6, with Rutuja and Channing facing off there. But the other, the courts 1, 2, and 3 are in favor of Bellarmine.
Yeah, going back to Noelle, she makes it hard for us commentators because she does not believe in drama. She wants to get off that court as quickly as she can. Again, doing it once again with 2 straight 6-0 victories. And now the question is, can the rest of the team respond?
Alrighty, and Rutuja up 3-1 in the second set there on court 6. Looking to secure another point there for MTSU. Going up 2-1 because your team, the fighting chance that we have the lead. Let's keep cruising. We got this, and we're still in the driver's seat here. And courts 1, which will be Layla Bashir and Love Star. Again, another matchup to look forward to. Love Star taking the first point there in the second set.
Yes.
And then on court 3 with Muskan and Vindula. Again, MTSU taking that first point in the second set. Little, trajectory for both there, going up for MTSU. Hopefully we see, Lily Sophie Schmidt jump out to a quick, 1-0 here as well into her first match of the second set.
You see Lily Sophie continuing her conversation with Coach Teo. She's going to head to the bench, but again, this is that moment as a player you just have to recognize that you're still in good shape, even though you're down a set. Can't let that affect you or your play style moving forward, because your opponent, they may be feeling confident, and it only takes a little bit, 1 or 2 victories to kind of shake that confidence and build your own confidence up. Lily Sophie, she's been in this long enough. She knows how to play this moving forward, and she knows what she has to do. Now it's all about going out there and doing it. All about execution for her.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like the great Yogi Berra said, sports are 90% mental and the rest are physical.
Yes.
So, you got to, just as good as you can be. If you don't have a good mental mindset, then, it's hard to overcome it. But Sophie Schmidt, she's both effective on the court, but also in the mental system. She plays with a lot of emotion. She knows when she has to be hard on herself, but also knows when to, praise herself and praise her skills that she, produces on the court. That goes into the net for Shu. A quick 15 love here for Schmidt.
Nice point there for LSS. And, on the flip side of that, Bellarmine getting a victory here would be huge for them. that would already surpass their total wins from last year where they had that 1-22 season. This would be a huge stepping stone for them in the right direction.
Nice route there between Shu and Lily Sophie. Shu coming out 15 all now.
Yeah, they're playing the ball relatively low, and that's going to result in more balls getting into the net because at some point somebody's going to slip up and not get quite enough velocity on there. It's a risk versus reward kind of thing, and eventually it does end up biting one. We saw one with Grosso, and we just saw it again with Schmidt.
Looks like that might have been out there. Shu going up 30-15 here on Lily Sophie.
Yeah, that was a close call, and I like what Lily Sophie was going for right there. She had the perfect idea, just couldn't fit it into that mailbox. But she still got time to end up coming back from that mistake. And again, it's a game of inches, folks. One little slip up can result in the ball going out of bounds, and that's why it's so crucial to be accurate.
Stoppage there.
Yeah, a bit of a stoppage. Not sure who rolled it out that time. Could have been Lily Sophie since Grosso just kind of stopped in the middle of that.
Another fault call there by Lily Sophie.
Grosso's hitting a lot of these first faults kind of out of the box. And it looks like she's going to double fault that time. And that's the risk you run sometimes by trying to be aggressive with the first serve. If your second serve doesn't get in, you've just kind of finagled yourself out of a point. That's crucial, and that's going to help Lily Sophie out tremendously with getting a point of her own here in this second set.
Absolutely, indeed. Again, Lily Sophie dropping the first set, not getting too far ahead of herself. Still, plenty of time to, bounce back. Look to secure the second one, bring it on to a third. Seems Lily Sophie taking that first point of the second set. Again, something that we talked about earlier, taking that first point can be very helpful in building your momentum, building up, that mindset that, I'm still in this. I can fight back and I can fight hard, get a point on the board for my team.
I'm sure that's what she's thinking right now. I've still got plenty of time to come back. This is the first step for her. Question is, can she deliver the rest of the way? It's an uphill battle, but Lily Sophie's done that before, and she's going to look to do it again, and she's got the toughness to get through it.
Beautiful ball there by Sophie Schmidt. Getting that first break point there is very crucial. Breaking your opponent's serve can build that momentum. You're in the driver's seat because if Lily Sophie is able to execute on her serve, going up 2-0 into a set is very different than going in tied.
Right. It's an absolutely completely different game. Being up 2-0 is going to be harder for your opponent to come back from. Being up a break means that they've got a lot more they're going to have to go up and over as we see that one fall back. But that last ball by Lily Sophie, that was an absolute dime right in the box.
Awfully close there.
That was close. That's a judgment call right there. We'll see what Grosso rules. Seems like Lily Sophie is kind of favoring that left side right now. She's able to get a lot more velocity off of her left side hits. Grosso not as comfortable over there. I think that's what Lily Sophie is going for. She wants to attack the weakness of her opponent. A very smart and sound strategy by her.
Fault call there by Shu. Hold on Shu there. Lily Sophie really commanding the pace of the play for her serve.
Yeah, that one falls way out of bounds, and that's exactly what Lily Sophie needs to continue to do. She's going to make mistakes, as will all tennis players. It's all about whether or not you can capitalize on those and make good on them. A lot of times players will play them out regardless. Lily Sophie, sound mind, sound ability, not going to let that happen to her.
Just nothing Lily Sophie can do there with the ball from Shu. Again, a beautiful placement there for Shu.
Yeah, that was an absolute dime delivered by Grosso right towards the end of the line that time. A lot of velocity, and Lily Sophie trying to recover, kind of ended up as a pop fly. But you could have put some 60s Batman cartoon effects that time, as that ball was just an absolute dime delivered by Grosso again.
First fault there by Schmidt.
Look to see where LSS looks to put this in the box. Could be a way and an insight into her play style here.
Lily Sophie again. That left side, again, like you were saying earlier, it seems like a lot of velocity on that left side hits. Trying to, attack that corner as much as she can.
And the reason that she's able to do that is because she's got more space to work with. When you're on the opposite side and you can hit it that direction, it gives you so much more space and you feel a lot more confident about your hit. When you have to hit it to the side that you're on, there's a lot less space and you can't exactly hit it with the same amount of velocity because there's not as much space to get it inbounds. I think that's what Lily Sophie recognizes, and she's taking full advantage of that. Kudos to her.
Seems like we got an out call there for Grosso.
Looks like it, but that was still a beautiful way of adapting that time by Lily Sophie. She kind of moved up. Again, that's all about the footwork. She moved from the middle of the court, then she saw that her opponent was on their retreat, she moves up. So those intangibles that a tennis player needs, and it may seem like a small thing, but it's a huge thing in the grand scheme of things.
Again, Lily Sophie getting that first break here in the second set, trying to secure her own serve, trying to get a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and she had a little bit of a frustration deal that time. She was going for that same style of shot to the left side, but it deflected right off of the net. If she could have got it just above the net, she'd have had that point easily, but just couldn't get it to fit in the seam that time. Grosso breathes a sigh of relief, but Lily Sophie has still found something on that left side that Grosso's going to have to adapt to as time goes on, or she's really going to have to be on the back pedal for the rest of this game.
Absolutely, and that's something you definitely do not want to do. With already dropping one set is being on the back pedal, having your back against the wall. When you're up 2-0 and, you're in the cruise control for the second set, you feel like you have a little bit more breathing room when it comes to the game.
Yes. Lily Sophie playing this ball a little bit more up. Worked out for her pretty well. If you're a player, you don't want these rallies to go extremely long. The longer a rally goes, the quicker you get exhausted, the more chances there are for somebody to make a mistake. You want to end this out as quickly as you can. So Lily Sophie's kind of a middle way. She doesn't play super slow, but she doesn't absolutely blitz it either. As we see that ball go out. But trying to mediate what tempo you need to go at is a huge thing for a tennis player as well. If you can get your opponent off compass, off the way, their path that they want to go, can end up bettering the result for you as time goes on.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, those long rallies, it shows like who wants it more, who's able to come out on top, who's wanting to dig deep and, you know, figure out, find that, you know, give it all out there on the court.
Yes.
Again, MTSU and Bellarmine tied 1-1 here into the singles matches. Bellarmine taking the doubles. Noel Morrow for MTSU going out to a quick 6-0 for both sets there. Secured the 1-1 tie for MTSU.
We heard about the trouble that MTSU is having on other courts. That means Lily Sophie, for her to win this match is even more of a prerogative right now because MTSU needs her to deliver as she has throughout the season. She's up for the challenge, but it's going to be interesting to see if she can do it once again. It's not an easy task by any means.
Absolutely, for both teams, it's going to be a battle of death. Which courts can you steal, and who has the, the better all-around, action here tonight.
Yeah, that look kind of says it all for Lily Sophie. She let that one get away. Not enough velocity, too much air that time. You want to hit it lower to the ground with a little bit more speed, and she just couldn't get the angle that she wanted. Ended up getting Grosso a point.
A little too much on there for Lily Sophie. Again, as you can see, trying to, control the emotions, trying to, keep herself into the game. Because once you get out of the game, it's really hard to come back in and, fight back, especially dropping the first set.
That one fell out, so it looks like we'll get a second serve here. Double faulted. Bit of a mistake that time for Grosso, but that's the kind of thing that Lily Sophie can use to her advantage.
Again, everybody makes mistakes. It's who can, pounce on the opponent's mistakes, quicker and more effectively.
That was not a double fault, excuse me. Looks like we're still going with second serve.
And what hustle there by Lily. Absolute beautiful play there for Lily Sophie. Running on both, from end to end, still keeping the ball alive, giving her a chance to secure.
I love it. Fantastic recovery that time from LSS. End to end, corner to corner. That's a beautiful job of recovery right there by Lily Sophie Schmidt. And that's a kind of point that you need to keep going and get a point in this game. It's exactly what MTSU is looking for with her. And Lily Sophie doing what she does, coming up clutch.
And again, as we saw there, Lily Sophie, executing perfectly, to secure that point in the set, trying to bounce back, after dropping the first one, still, climbing that mountain. Securing that second set can be a huge momentum heading into that third one. And it's something that you got to look forward to is, keeping that, closer mentality as she has in the past. Now as we head over to court 2 now, again, Garrancani and Tijinko.
Yeah, Sana's in trouble right here. Already down a set 2-6. Now she's down 2-5 in the second set. And if Bellarmine can get a point here, they're going to be up 2-1. And that is going to put MTSU on the back burner.
Not much Sana can do there.
Yeah, Sana got twisted up, and she was kind of on an island that time on the left side. She's not happy about how that one played out. She knows that's a mistake on her. She could have probably went to the right a little bit, but she hesitated. And hesitation is something you can't do in tennis. You have to make a decision then and there. If you stand pat, you're going to end up getting burned, and that's what happened to Sana. Still the chance here, though.
Again, Sana showing frustration here. Got to still keep that composure. I understand it looks very, bleak for you right now, but you still have a fighting chance, It's not, the saying, it's not over until the fat lady sings, and I don't hear any singing coming.
Sana's a very emotional player, too. She kind of feeds off of her own emotions. When she's up, the game is up. When she's feeling it, she's on. But when she's down, she's also feeling that every time she's out there, and she leans into that. She's trying to use that to her advantage right now, but Tinkonko is definitely in the catbird seat.
Again, a little too much there for Sana there.
Yep, and Tinkonko is knocking on the door right now of victory, and I think Sana realizes that. She's trying to do everything she can, almost like a fight or flight response when it comes to this set, but Tinkonko trying to meet with a date with destiny here.
Let's see what the call is there.
That was going to be close, and I think Sana doesn't look happy about it, so it looked like that one might have been out. You see the ITA official over there throwing a ball over up to Tinkonko. And looks like that's going to be a point for her.
It seems as Bellarmine's head coach Brian Slack, again, his plan working into his favor here with Tinkonko being very effective here on court 2.
And that would give Bellarmine a very, very important second point. That'll do it.
And that will conclude court 2. Tinkonko coming out, getting that second point again, taking the first set 6-2, and replicating that here in the next one. Brings Bellarmine up to the lead of 2-1 here. And so as a team, you go down 2-1. How do you overcome that? How do you, as you see your team trying to fight back, what's something that goes through your mind when you're down 2-1 on the brink of, dropping this match?
Well, realize the position that you're in. There's still plenty of time to come back in this game. You've got plenty of an opportunity. Actually, we just got an update that it's 2-2. So this game is, like we mentioned, still very much at hand for both teams. MTSU and the opposing team, Bellarmine, are still in contention to win this game, but it comes down to who wants it more and who's got a little bit more of that determination on this day. But MTSU still in the catbird seat, as is Bellarmine. This is anybody's game. It's a 0-0 score, and that's the way you got to treat it moving forward.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like you said, again, court 6 with Ratuja capturing another point there for MTSU, fighting back, going to, MTSU going 2-2. And as we head down to court 4 again with Lily Sophie and Shu Grosso here.
We were watching this game earlier, and it looks like LSS is starting to mount a bit of a comeback.
Nice ball there by Lily Sophie. As you can see, up 3-1 again, trying to be in the driver's seat, trying to secure the second set.
Yeah, she throws up that signature fist pump once again and takes another point. A big one there for Lily Sophie, and I got to say, Lily Sophie, she may not win the first set, but she's like the FedEx delivery man. She's always going to get that package in the mail. She's going to make things happen for your team.
An update for our court 1, we have Love Star Alexis out to a 3-2 lead in the second set. Again, trying to rebound after a rocky first set for her. Trying to secure the second set there to keep push to set 3. Just like Lily Sophie's trying to do here.
Yeah, I think Grosso played that one a little bit too far back. She was way off in the green that time. Schmidt saw an opportunity, and she absolutely blasted that ball to the left side, and it paid off big time for her.
And again, Lily Sophie, she can go up 4-1. That is huge momentum. Able to secure a quick second set here, and then heading into the third with all the momentum on your side, it can be very effective for your team.
Update on court 3. We're down 4-2 in the second set. MTSU in trouble there. That's going to be a crucial one for Muskan Gupta.
And that ball looks like to be in for Lily Sophia. Again, attacking the court very well, playing in the driver's seat, playing her style of tennis, bouncing back from that, dropping that first set.
Yeah, she's got Shoe Grossa looking like it's Friday night at the roller rink right now. She's all over the place, and that's really helping Lily Sophie. She's delivering the ball again and again in the perfect position. She's found her groove, and it's working out big time for her.
Lily Sophie looking like Randy Johnson with this fastball out there. Absolute missile over to Shoe, and Shoe cannot do nothing with it.
And that's going to result in another point, so Lily Sophie's going to make it 4-1 here on this game. She lost that first set, but we had confidence that she could come back in the second set and deliver, and that's indeed what she has done. Now just 2 points away from taking an all-important second set. That's going to be huge here, Matt.
Very, very well indeed. Again, going up 4-1 into that second set, all the momentum is now building for Lily Sophie, trying to close it out, trying to go into that third set, and, just take it into account. And now as we head into court 1 here, tied 3-3 for Love Star Alexis and Layla Bashir right here. Point there for Love Star.
Love Star kind of brings that veteranosity to this Middle Tennessee team. She's been here for quite a while, and she's the #1 for a reason. Taking on Bashir today. Dropped the first set, but she's right in position here in the second set. She had a heck of a game yesterday against Georgia State as well that came down to the wire. Ended up coming out with the advantage in that one, trying to do it again here.
Point there for Bashir. Answering right back.
Yeah, Love Star sending it back now. Now you got to respond. Now you got to take what you just saw and respond tenfold. Love Star Alexis is all about responding. And she's going to continue to do that as this game goes on. Also look for the way she adapts to this game. She's very good at noticing the weakness of an opponent and using that to her advantage.
Again, another point in favor of Love Star here. Again, trying to bounce back, dropping the first set 6-3. Very close set here, all tied up at 3. Love Star trying to, take the lead here and be in the driver's seat.
Yeah, speaking of the driver's seat, something we haven't really mentioned in a while, but this Bellarmine team, this is their 3rd game in 3 days, and they've been traveling all across the Midwest and the Southeast. You know that they got to be feeling it right now as we watch that ball go out, but you know that they have to be feeling it right now. And I think if you're MTSU, you want this game to go as long as it takes, because that's going to favor you more and more, because that's going to lead to Bellarmine having that adrenaline start to go down. They're going to start to feel that exhaustion, and MTSU is going to be right in the position they need to be with a little bit of a fresher attack.
And as we just see, Love Star taking that match there up 4-3 now into the second set. And like you said, you want, to play into MTSU's favor is drawing out these matches. As you said,
yes.
3 games in 3 days, traveling, up and down, the South. It's very hard for a team to rebound. It's very hard, even for the pros to play, backs to backs.
Right.
And, for, collegiate athletes here, it's something that, it takes a drain on you. And, you want to see MTSU be able to attack and, play aggressive and then also, secure a victory here.
And it's not like Bellarmine cut those games short either. They were both full 7-game matches, so they've had no rest so far for the Wicked, and They're trying to overcome that today. But you know they've got to be feeling it at least just a little bit.
Indeed, indeed. Like we said, MTSU played a very short match yesterday. Just a quick 4-0 sweep against Georgia State due to, some courts having to be forfeited. And so that's something you got to look forward to, for a little bit fresher for them. They're in their own house. They're trying to play, the style of tennis that they want to play, trying to put a show on for the home crowd.
Love Star taking the lead here in the second set, and that's exactly what she was looking for. Now she's got an opportunity. If she can take this second set, the pendulum swings in MTSU's favor in a huge way.
Update on Court 3, Muscon versus Vendula, going all tied up. 3-3 there in that second set. My apologies, an update on Court 3 is actually 4-4. Nice play there by Bashir.
Love Star got absolutely crowded that time, and she was right against the back line, was trying to return that, but she was on the defensive. There's no question about it. Bashir was in attack mode. Love Star trying to get the ball back over, but it's so hard as a player to have enough power to hit it over and hit it accurately. That's a big-time balance, and Love Star just couldn't get it over.
Bashir going up 15 left here on Love Star serve. $30 love now in favor of Bashir. If you're Love Star, you really do not want to lose a serve. Going up 4-4, and as she breaks your recent serve can be very, could drain you. So going up here, still fighting deep. It's not over yet. You still got plenty of time here, trying to bounce back.
That was an incredible play by Bashir there. She was slipping and sliding all over the place that time, but she was able to slide right over, get it inside the lane once again. That was a beautiful cross-court serve. That's going to do her dividends and gives her a 40 love lead.
Break point here, looking to tie it all up right here. Love Star answering back, 40-15 now. Love Star says it is not break time yet. I'm still out here. I'm still trying to perform.
She gets a little bit of a lucky break there too because Bashir didn't angle that ball correctly. She wanted to get the spin on it that time, but she ended up costing herself. It went right into the net. Love Star makes it 30-40. If she can get it to deuce, I'm betting money that Love Star is going to have a good time with that. And that was out, so that's going to be deuce.
Again, Love Star climbing back. Was 40 love at one point. Now we're into deuce. Big momentum change here for whoever gains a set.
That's got to be gratifying for Love Star, too. This is a huge pendulum swing, as you mentioned, because it's either going to be 4-4 or 5-3. Love Star's either going to be right on the door or she's going to be tied. Got to be careful here to avoid a double fault. The last thing you want to hear is a self-deprecating mistake. And it looks like she got it.
As you can see, Love Star securing the 5-3 court one, into the second set. Very high emotions we saw, after securing that, fifth point in that second set. It could be very huge for her as she's coming in, securing that second set, bouncing back from, losing the first one 6-3, bouncing back going 6-3 as well. And it's just something that, take into account. Her energy is high right now.
Yes.
It looks like she's, wanting to take this place by storm here. As we go double screen here, as we got court one again, Love Star Alexis versus Layla Bashir here. And also on court three, we have Vendula Kristalova and Muskan Gupta here. As Muscon up 5-4 in the second set.
Can't say enough about the way this MTSU team has responded in these second sets after the first sets looked so unpromising for them. They have come out swinging in these second sets, and that's why there's 3 sets in a tennis match, because you just don't quit. You don't let that first set define who you are. Coach Teo preaches that to these players, and they're responding in kind. Exactly the kind of sermon you want to see preached here in the Cathedral of Tennis.
Absolutely. Bashir out to a fast 30-love lead on court 1. $40 there for Bashir.
Yeah, but you got to think that that last game is weighing on her mind. She just gave up a 40-love lead to Love Star Alexis. Love Star's right there if Bashir starts to slip up, and she did a couple of times that last game. Allowed Love Star to get back in it. She's going to have to avoid those mistakes here.
Beautiful paint there by Muscon.
Yeah, Muscon's feeling it right now. Great point right on the side. Here comes the serve over on the left side. There's another one of those mistakes by Bashir. A little bit too short into the net, and Love Star gets the point. Small things become huge things in the grand scheme of things.
That's out on court 1. Love Star looking to form a comeback again. Now 40-30.
Meanwhile, on the right side, you see Muscon let the ball float out and get another point for MTSU. She's on the verge of getting a second set victory, which would be massive for her, especially since she's been struggling a little bit with singles matches as of late. Lost the last one to Georgia State. You have to imagine this would be a huge confidence booster for her to win this set.
Absolutely, indeed. A fault there. Fault from Muscon. Out on Bashir. We are at deuce again.
Love Star Alexis is absolutely cooking right now. She's playing with house money, and she's come back from 2 straight 40-love deficits. If she can win the second set with this kind of momentum on her side, it's hard for me to see her not winning this entire match.
And that will do it. But Love Star still has plenty of room to play with in the second set. Up 5-4, her serve, looking to capitalize and move on to a third set here.
Yeah, that one hurt. She was in position right there, and she let that one get away from her.
She's got Muscon rallying here. That's out. Muscon showing her emotions.
That'll be a second set victory for Muscon. What a comeback from her.
Absolutely. Big change of momentum now heading into the third set.
Looks like most of these matches are going to head down to a third set, and that's when it's going to be what we've dubbed winning time for each of these teams. This is when we're going to see what they're really made of. The third set usually reveals a lot about this team. That's when you're pushed to your absolute limits as both a player and a team. And we see just how good you can become in those clutch circumstances. It's where legends are made and heroes are born.
Absolutely, and we could see fatigue playing a huge factor into the games that go 3 sets, like we've been saying.
Yes.
3 is a lucky number today. 3 games in 3 days for the Bellarmine Knights, and 3 sets, all around. We're hoping for here. So again, fatigue could play a huge factor here for these girls.
And if you want to talk about momentum for MTSU, you get the win here. You get a 3rd straight victory on the season, 3 straight wins here at the ATC at home. Remember, MTSU is undefeated at the Adams Tennis Complex thus far this season. They want to keep that streak going, especially in the middle of this 6-game home stretch. Carry that momentum, especially into next weekend.
Absolutely, and as we said, going in 2-2 MTSU and Bellarmine here, crucial games on courts 1 and courts 3 as we saw.
Yes.
Moosecon securing that second set, moving it on to the third set, and Love Star being up 5-4 in that second set. Trying to steal that second set, move it on to a third, and again play her style.
Right.
Basically going like you've always been saying. It's 0-0 there. You play your style. As we see, we go split screen here with court 1 with Love Star Alexis, Layla Bashir, as well as going to court 4 split screen with Shu Grosso and Sophie Lily Schmidt. Sophie Schmidt,
LSS.
Man, there we go. I got it out there.
It's a mouthful, but as you see, she's playing again with some really great ferocity right now as Love Star continues her great momentum on the left.
Lily Sophie also at 5 in the second set.
Big point for Love Star there. Makes it 15-love.
Another big point for Lily Sophie Schmidt again, going up 30-15.
Lily Sophie battling back again. Dropped that first set, disappointment for her, but she does not dwell on that for anything, and she lets it be known that she's going to come back. Some of the best determination you'll find are here in the ATC. Looks like that one ended up getting just in line for Bashir on your left side. Makes it 15-all.
We got match point here for Lily Sophie here. 40-15. Again, 5-3 here in the second set.
Can she close it out?
Ooh, nice play there by Love Star. Just a little too much out.
If you're Grosso, you want to make sure to avoid a double fault at all costs. It's the last thing you need right now. Yeah, that one cracks into the net that time. Lily Sophie a little bit frustrated. She knew she had an opportunity there. I think if she could have gotten it over the net, she had a lot of clearing on the left side that Grosso wouldn't have been able to cover. Meanwhile, rally in progress on your left side.
Ball in net for Bashir. 30 all there on court 1.
Yeah, Love Star on the verge of closing it out. Meanwhile, on the right side, Lily Sophie the same way.
That looks like a set for Lily Sophie.
There it is, Lily Sophie with that second set victory. Man, that was a big one too. And what a perfect way to do it, right along the sideline like she's been doing all day. She loves going to the opposite side, and Grosso just can't cover it. She can't recover in time, and Lily Sophie has exploited that time and time again, paying dividends for her. She gets a 6-3 second set victory.
Love Star looking to secure the second set. 30 all here. Oh, match point actually for Love Star here. 40-30, her serve. I know the cliche saying the ball is in your court, but, I mean, it looks like Love Star does have the ball in her court.
Ball's literally in her court right now, and she can do with it whatever she so pleases. She's got a chance to close this thing out. Let's see if she can do it.
Nice rally here going on court 1. And that will do it. Love Star securing the second set.
Man, that was beautiful. Love Star must be taking us to McDonald's right now because I'm loving what I'm seeing out there. That was a beautiful job by Love Star Alexis. She does a great job again. The nice little backhand, kind of a forearm shiver, but she does it perfectly. It's a unique shot, but it works great for her, and she's making it work great right now.
Absolutely. Now, all three remaining courts heading into a third set. Again, like we've been saying, fatigue could be playing a factor. As we see right here, Muskan up 1-0 in the third set here, trying to secure another point here for the Blue Raiders.
And it is still a 2-2 game right now, so these remaining games, they are going to be very crucial. Everything's weighing and coming down to this right now.
Moose kind of a little disgruntled with herself about that, but can't let it get too much of you.
Yeah, she was a little disgruntled, as you mentioned right there. She knew that she had an opportunity on that one. The backhand was trying to go right along the line that time, but I think that one came down to the way it hit off of her racket. Sometimes you just get a bad bounce, and that's what happened to Muskan right there. Still a chance to recover.
And like we've been saying, do not want a double fault here.
Well, I'll tell you, I think that Muskan hesitated for a second there and just kind of stood in place. She was thinking about chasing that ball, but then it kind of got in her own head, and she let it go by. And that's that mental aspect of the game played out in real time. Sometimes you don't see it as clearly, but that time you kind of saw it play out right before you.
Nice rebound there from Muskan.
Big rebound from Muskan, and that's the kind of play that you need. Put it behind you, keep moving forward. That's what Muskan's doing right now and getting ready for the next serve. Man, where's Nelly when you need him? Because that one absolutely said, here comes the boom. What a huge shot by Muskan Gupta. That was a beautiful one right to the left side. Again, indefensible for a player, but Muskan chased that ball perfectly and had the perfect position in mind. That is some real intelligence by her right now.
And again, that was all set up by setting up in the far corner for Kryslova there, and just having nothing to do with you're on the opposite side, and just
Yes.
a rocket on the other side is physically impossible to cover. Another point in favor of Muskan.
Yeah, it got bit by the net that time, and Gupta gets a little bit of a break. If that ball went just a little bit higher, might have deflected off the net. There's nothing that she could have done to return that, but the net giveth and the net taketh away sometimes, and tooketh away from Kryslova.
Seems to be a double fault there for Muskan.
Yeah, that one hurts. That's a rough double fault for Muskan. That's the kind of a mistake that she wanted to avoid. You don't want to give your opponent any opportunity of coming back, but that's exactly what did just take place. The good thing is it's not quite as bad as it might seem. She still got an opportunity to win this second game and still prevail in the third set, but in this crucial time, you want to avoid those mistakes at all costs.
Ball seemed to be out, securing a second point here in the third set for Gupta.
That's what Muskan wanted to see, and that's a big one right there. Again, she didn't let that mistake previously with the double fault define her. She kept going. in a way, it epitomizes this Middle Tennessee team. Don't let your mistakes define you. Just keep playing our brand of tennis. Good things will happen, and that's what Muskan just showed right there.
Again, Muskan already with one break this set, looking to get another one here. Looks like it was called out on Kryslova.
It looks like it was called out by Kryslova, or called out on Kryslova, excuse me. A little bit too far, again, right along the line, but just couldn't get it right in at the right velocity.
Point to Kryslova. 15 all here.
15 all, and that's big here for Kryslova. Staying in contention just enough. I think Muskan thought that it was going to end up going out of bounds, but again, sometimes you guess as a player, and sometimes it's a wrong guess, and that's what happened. That's such a tough call to make as a player sometimes. It's just a split-second decision. As we mentioned, nothing really Muskan could have done differently. I don't blame her for choosing that path, but it just didn't end up working out.
Again, Muskan up 2-0 in this third set. With one break already on. Trying to dig deep. If you can secure that second break, it is an absolute game changer here for Muskan. Already up 2-0 and then going up 3-0 with 2 breaks already under your belt can absolutely change the momentum in the snap of fingers.
Getting another nice point there is Muskan. And a reminder, Muskan's off to a 1-2 singles record to start the year. If she wants to build a little bit of confidence, this is a great place to start and a great way to show it against a good opponent in Kryslova. Muskan showed a lot of great things today and showed a lot of improvement in this game.
Big rally there, going in favor of Kryslova.
Yeah, Muskan used every bit of her height and wingspan that time to stretch out to get that ball, but she's not Stretch Armstrong, so she can't get it sometimes, and that's what ended up happening as she was looking for that ball. But great placement by Kryslova as well, right in the corner. That was a beautiful job and great recognition by her to see that lane was wide open. Having vision as a player is a great thing sometimes. Being able to see exactly where you need to go. It's almost like cutting the court in half, trying to find that perfect spot. That's what Kryslova just did. And look for other players to do that throughout the rest of this match.
Absolutely, and a quick update on court 4. Again, Lily Sophie Schmidt up 1-0 in the third set. As you know, she lost the first set 4-6 and then won the second set 6-3. And we are on serve for court 4. Out call by Muskan.
Out call by Muscon. That's going to make it 3-zip, and now Muscon is in the catbird seat once again. Got the perfect opportunity here to close this thing out. She just needs 3 more wins, and she's got a set and match victory up against Kryslova, which would be absolutely huge. And we'll see if she can do that in just a little bit more time.
And again, like we discussed earlier, going up 3-0 with two breaks already under your belt is huge game momentum there. And one that I want to look forward to is the one we just recently updated is Core 4 with Lily Sophie. Again, going up 1-0 into the third set.
Yes.
Trying to, secure another point here for the MTSU Blue Raiders. And it looks like, all cylinders are kicking for those two girls.
They are firing on all cylinders right now. And that's exactly what MTSU needed to see and needed their players to respond with in these second and third sets. They've been up to the task, and that shows the great tenacity that this Blue Raider team has.
It seems here that Lily Sophie is actually up 2-0 in the third set here. Looking to replicate what Muscon was able to do.
And it'd only be fitting that LSS would be the closing and deciding factor once again for MTSU, and that might end up being the case here.
Again, Lily Sophie Schmidt already up 1 break here.
And I think what you're seeing out of these MTSU players as this game goes on is their ability to adapt. They ended up losing the first set. They ended up losing the doubles point, but they found something on the way that this Bellarmine team plays. That's the sign of great resilience and not being stubborn. Sometimes players are stubborn and they want to keep going with the same exact play style to diminishing results. But these Blue Raiders, they're not afraid to change things up, and I think that that's got Bellarmine a little bit confused right now.
Out there on Lily Sophie. 15 all now.
Yeah, for Grosso, she's been on the back pedal really since the first set. So it's all about retooling and finding something here on Lily Sophie. What kind of disadvantage can you find on her? The thing I would say is that she continues to aim for that bad side of yours, really to the left. I think that's where you want to keep the ball away from. Try to keep it away from that side. Maybe you can stop Lily Sophie.
And again, Bellarmine, a 1-win team heading into this, but still playing with a lot of tenacity, still trying to, claw their way back. You can never say never.
And again, Bellarmine is 2-28 in the last 2 years. They desperately want a victory, and this would be a huge one if they could beat Middle Tennessee on the road right now. The Blue Raiders know and understand how crucial this is for them, especially in trying to build momentum. They don't want to get tripped up. Looks like that's going to make it 40-15 here, Matt.
Out call by Lily Sophie again, trying to duplicate what Muscon was able to do, going up 3-0 here in the third set.
And she got it.
Muscon and Lily Sophie in the driver's seats here into the third set, going up 3-0 already.
3-0 lead here for Lily Sophie, and that is a great testament to what she's been able to do. Really, it's the same story between her and Muscon's games. Both of them adapted. They lost the first set 4-6, but found something in the second set, and now in the third set, they are just plain dominating this game. So it's been a heck of a game for her, and she's going to look to continue that as time goes on.
And again, like we've been saying, 2 courts in the third set, up 3-0 here.
Yes.
Very big momentum for Middle Tennessee. Looking to secure those 2 courts to secure a victory here today and be huge for their momentum heading into their next matchups here. And, keeping that win streak alive here at the ATC. Update for Love Star Alexis and Layla Bashir on court 1, all knotted up at 1 apiece in the third set.
And with these 3 remaining games, whoever wins this is going to have to take 2 out of these 3. MTSU is in prime position to do that with Gupta, who is now up 4-0 according to the latest scoreboard update. Either it could be her or it could be LSS Lily Sophie Schmidt. So both of them in prime position. If both of them take these games, then MTSU will win. So it's all about maintaining what you have right now.
Beautiful play there. Again, we are seeing that, fatigue take into account. Again, 3 sets, 3 games, 3 days, all going, long. They weren't cut short. So,
yes.
Again, fatigue wearing down, as we can see on the Bellarmine side.
Yeah, we wondered if that was going to affect Bellarmine at all, and it appears that that may be the case. You've got to think that some of that exhaustion has to be playing in. It's been a raucous schedule these last 3 days for them, and you got to imagine that they are skating by right now with what they're able to do and maybe not able to give the full effort that they usually would, and that's allowed Middle Tennessee, just by sheer ability of staying up-tempo longer, an advantage.
Again, MooseCon up 4-0 here in the third set. Going up 5-0 is a very, very hard hill for Kryslova to climb back up from. So it's really looking to take, taking a point here, trying to, gain some momentum, try to fight back. Point in favor of MooseCon again.
Big point right there. And a lot of these hits and returns by Kryslova keep hitting it into the net. I think MooseCon is really pressuring her to go to the back line, and Kryslova just can't get the momentum on these returns that she would like. In translation, that means that MooseCon is in the driver's seat right now.
Beautiful placement there by Kryslova. Not much MooseCon can do there.
Yeah, and head coach Brian Slack, very, very happy with what he saw that time from Kryslova, and he should be, because that was a beautiful placement of the ball. MooseCon was on the opposite side. Kryslova had a very tight window to fit that in, but she absolutely did. And that's a sign of a great, great job on the return.
Out call there by MooseCon.
Out call by MooseCon, and again, just too far for Kryslova. But things are really going right for Gupta right now. It's all about holding it.
Beautiful ball there by MooseCon.
That was a brilliant backhand that time. That's going to make it 5-0 too. So MooseCon is now in the perfect position to close this out and get a third set victory, which would give Middle Tennessee the 3-2 lead. But Matt, you got to say that MooseCon has really found something here late, and she is absolutely putting it to good use.
Absolutely. You love seeing, going into the doubles, heads were down. You
Yes.
just dropped the doubles. It's never the greatest thing to do. But, it's really exciting to see, even after dropping the first set, fighting back, really playing, with a high motor.
Right.
And, fighting hard and trying to secure the big dub. As we go split screen here, again, with court 3 with the MooseCon and Vendola. But also we have court 4 with Lily Sophie Schmidt and Shu Grosso here.
5-0 and 4-0 scores respectively here.
Again, 2 deciding courts could be right here. So we see MTSU up 5-0 with Gupta on court 3, and Lily Sophie up 4-0 on her court.
You heard the roar of the choir that time, and that's because Lily Sophie buried that ball in the back corner. Here comes the serve.
Out call by Lily Sophie, going up 30-love here.
LSS continuing to put that tempo on. Meanwhile, MooseCon serving on the left side. That's the first step for MooseCon right there. That was a beautiful job. Again, just let the ball get out of your way. Don't make it harder on yourself than you need to be. Play smarter, play hard, but play smart too. That's what Muskan just did, and that got her a point.
Absolutely. The message of the game has been, when you get out to these big leads, you can't play too conservative. You got to keep your foot on the gas. As we see, even up 4-0 and 5-0 respectively for the two ladies, they're still playing aggressive. They're still playing. They're trying to secure it right here, right now, to avoid all the drama that could be a part of the game.
That's why you have reps and reps and reps if you're these players. For these kinds of moments, they've trained for this kind of situation with Coach Teo. And as you see, Lily Sophie responding as well, 40-15 over on the left side, or the right side, excuse me. Looks like Muskan perhaps got a point there too, but Lily Sophie trying to make it 5-0.
Big shot there by Lily Sophie there.
Muskan potentially with a match point on 3. We'll see.
And that will do it. Muskan securing another court here, bringing the lead to 3-2 for the Blue Raiders.
How about that response from Muskan Gupta? Doubted in the first set, but she came back and responded tenfold with a huge second and a dominant third set. Muskan Gupta really showing what she's made of and really starting to build a little bit more momentum, building confidence. So huge for a tennis player. A big win for her today, and that's going to help her tremendously moving forward.
Absolutely. We saw with both, in that split screen that they both dropped the first set.
Yes.
Didn't get too down on themselves. Were able to, calmly, and collectively collect their emotions and go into the second set, be very aggressive and secure it. And now you saw they both jumped out to a huge lead. 5-0 for Lily Sophie right now, and then a 6-0 for on court 3 there.
And who better to leave it on the shoulders of than LSS Lily Sophie Schmidt. I don't think there's anybody else that MTSU would rather have shouldering the burden of winning this game. She's done it time and time again, and she's going to try to do it one more time. And at this point, you simplify the game down to just 4 points. You need 4 points, 4 straight inbounds hits, and you've got yourselves and your team a victory.
Absolutely. Now, if you're in the mindset of Shu Grosso and the Bellarmine team, what is your mindset heading into these matches?
I think at this point the mindset is take what you can, and again, it's all about simplifying it. You can't let the score define how you perform. If you do, then there's no way you can win because you're of the mindset that there's a hole that you can't come back from. That's the way Grosso has to approach this game. Play like you have nothing to lose and play with everything that you've got. Let it all be out there on the court.
Out there, out call for Lily Sophie there, going up 30-love as we saw. The first 15 were secured by a double fault by Shu.
Much like Muskan, Lily Sophie just let that ball fly right out of bounds, and now in perfect positions. She smells what's cooking in the kitchen, and it is going to be absolutely delicious if she can get to it. Small mistake there, just a little bit out. Gives Grosso a point, though, 30-15 now.
Nice ball there by Lily Sophie. As you can see at the top right of the screen, her teammates cheering her on, knowing this could be the big deciding factor for this game.
That was an absolute Apollo rocket shot right to the right side by Lily Sophie Schmidt. And now all the cards are in her deck. Can she ring that bell one more time?
And that will do it. Lily Sophie Schmidt closes it out once again with a 6-0 victory in the third set here. securing a 4-2 win over Bellarmine for the Blue Raiders today.
LSS, the third straight game-clinching set victory, and that is what she's all about. She defines the word winner, and she does what she does over and over again. It's a narrative that continues to happen, but there's a reason for that, because she absolutely has that Tom Brady gene deep in her blood. And that's why she was able to win today. And that's how Middle Tennessee took home another big victory with her contributions from players like Muskan Gupta and Noel Morrow. This team is definitely feeling it right now in a huge momentum-building victory.
Absolutely. And again, a quick recap of today's action. We saw with Bellarmine taking that first doubles point,
Yes.
which was a big factor heading into there. You know, it's something that they could ride the momentum off. But MTSU did not let them get a hold of that. You know, they took four straight singles courts,
right,
able to secure a victory, and, a 4-2 win over Bellarmine. And pretty good day for the Lady Raiders today.
I think it's went about as well as it could have. They struggled early, but this team, again, they refused to stay down. They responded in kind over and over again. That's what this team has been about. Just get the job done. It doesn't matter what it looks like early on. Even if things look messy, you can still come back. That's exactly what Middle Tennessee did today, and I'm sure they're very happy with what they were able to accomplish.
Absolutely, Dylan. And we'll catch all on CUSA TV and Middle Tennessee MTN Sports' YouTube channel with the coach's interview and the player of the game.
Mental health affects us all, whether you finish first or last.
Whether you win or lose.
The stigma around these issues causes those around us to suffer in silence.
Mental health is nothing to be ashamed of.
You are not alone.
You are not alone. As a student athlete,
As a teammate,
As a friend,
we pledge to continue the conversation.
because it matters.
because you matter.
stand up to the stigma.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Continue the conversation.
You are not alone.
I have a voice.
You have a voice.
We have a voice.
Our voices can be heard.
Outside of sports.
As student athletes,
We have a platform.
Now more than ever.
It's important that we listen, learn, and lead.
and raise our voices for change.
We can all do more.
Now is the time
To make a difference.
This is our chance.
This is our chance to make a better tomorrow.
Together,
we will continue the conversation.
We have a voice.
On June 23, 1972, Title IX was signed into law, and it reads, "No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity, receiving federal financial assistance." Happy 50th anniversary, Title IX. Thank you for giving little girls like me and big kids like Conference USA student athletes the opportunity to dream big.
Mental health affects us all, whether you finish first or last.
Whether you win or lose.
The stigma around these issues causes those around us to suffer in silence.
Mental health is nothing to be ashamed of.
You are not alone.
You are not alone. As a student athlete,
As a teammate,
As a friend,
We pledge to continue the conversation.
because it matters.
because you matter.
stand up to the stigma.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Continue the conversation.
You are not alone.
Thank you all, and welcome back to the Adams Tennis Complex. I am your host, Matthew Hayden, alongside my co-host, Dylan Simmons, here with the post-game interviews here at the ATC. And on deck, we have, the player of the game, Muskar Gupta. Muskar, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm just a little tired. It was a third set, but I'm doing well. Since you win, I think every pain goes away.
Absolutely, absolutely. So to start off, the energy in the building, it's just, it's different here at the ATC. Is that something that, helps you power through, these long sets and just something you feed off of?
For sure, because when you win a point and you see your audience cheering for you, it definitely makes a difference.
Yeah, I got to ask as well. Big win for you, obviously, today. You ended up dropping the first set, but you ended up responding with great passion and fire in that second and third set. What did you see? What allowed you to be able to come back with that kind of counter-strike?
I feel a part of it comes being a senior because you play so many matches. I have been in this spot for a lot of times, and I see my team on the sideline, and I see all of them fighting. So I just feel like I can win. I never think I lose until I actually lose.
I love it. I love it. Now, you guys have been on a hot streak lately. This is your third straight victory. Really, what's been fueling you lately, and what's allowed you to get in that next gear and get all these victories as of late?
I think we have a big team this year, which is very different from past few years. We generally had like 7 or 8 players. Now we have like 13 on the sideline supporting us. So I think that changes a bit. Then we have more people in the audience. That changes a bit too because we have been winning all our home matches. So I just feel it's the confidence. There's like a shift. There's a momentum shift as in all sports. I think we should keep on feeding on it.
Muskan, I do have one last question to, ease the nerves that you have running through, because I know you're a stone cold face on the court, but in front of the camera, some people get a little scared. So what is your pre-game music that helps you get going?
Oh, I can't name the songs, but it's rap and pop, so you can assume what it is.
So that's what we need to listen to if we want to be a stud on the court like you.
Oh, of course, because I'm very calm on court, but I'm not off court, so.
Thank you so much for your time, Muskan. Appreciate, big win for you guys today. Hopefully see you again sometime soon.
Thank you.
And again, that was player of the game, Muskan Gupta, again showing off, the audacity that she has on the court and being able to fight through, even dropping after the first set, using the energy in the ATC to power back and finally, secure that victory that they desperately so needed there in the singles match.
Yeah, Muskan, I was so impressed with what she showed today. She really battled back, like you mentioned. She was combative on the court. She didn't let the first set define what she was going to be today. And even though she had dropped a couple singles matches in a row, she wasn't going to let that be the case today. And that's why she's the player of the game against Bellarmine, because she overcame the odds and had a huge second and third set. That's the sign of tenacity. That's the sign of a tremendous player. Congratulations once again to Muskan Gupta. A big win for her.
Congratulations indeed to Muskan Gupta. And as well, she, like we've been saying, we've been preaching in the choir that, they were fighting back.
Yes.
And, constantly, even when they were down, still the heads are high. And, the leader behind that is their head coach, Coach Teo, who we have, as well for a report there. How are you doing today, Coach?
Good.
All right, Coach, so I have a big question to start off with. Dropping that first doubles point, what was the message heading into their singles matches of, what we need to do to secure the victory today?
Well, I mean, we've been in this situation time and time again, but I told them we just have to bounce back, and we need to make sure we play each point, strategically, and that we don't take anyone for granted, which was the main key takeaway this week, today's match, is that they're better in person than they are on paper. And we know that, just like we are, depending on the team we're playing, we're better in person than we are on paper. And that we go out there and we fight for every single point.
Yeah, and I got to ask, you mentioned how you've been around the block with us a few times, but this Bellarmine team, this is the first time that Middle Tennessee and Bellarmine have ever met in women's tennis. Did that make for a unique approach to this game, or did you kind of approach it the same way you always do?
Well, I mean, we saw them in the fall when they came to an invite, so we were a little bit familiar that, they were going to be talented. I'm familiar with their coach, Brian Slack. I know he's coached some pretty good teams in the past, and so he's smart, and he coaches similar to how I coach, and I knew it was going to be a battle. I think the main takeaway today, which helped us, was just my experienced team. We're a much older team, and the ones that were older kind of, shone, and they took the lead today.
Indeed. And, as a much older team, we see a lot of emotion is left out there on the court. And, emotions can play a big factor into team building and team bonding. How do you, as a head coach, help keep these ladies' composures on the court, when they're wanting to, get too down on themselves and, trying to compose them, to finish off the match?
Well, they're getting down on themselves. That's really it's very common in my young players, because they're not used to the stresses and playing on a team and having a battle in front of a lot of people. So that can be a little tough. So a lot of times just go over and tell them, you're okay. You'll be fine. You're doing everything right. We just have to tighten up a few areas and continue to push through, especially with Muskan, who knows that sometimes she can shift a little bit with the momentum and energy. And when she was taking that lead 3-0 and 5-0 in that third set, I just went over and told her, just continue your momentum. Just stay the course, keep your energy up, and keep pushing forward. That's really all I told her.
Love the insight there. Last question we got for you is, you guys have been on a hot streak lately. This is your third straight victory, third straight at home. What does this momentum really do for this season, and can it translate to even bigger things as time goes on?
Well, that's the goal, that it translates to bigger things. At the end of the year, we're looking at a positive record, and we're going into conference being very confident in ourselves and a much better team. We still have a lot of matches to go. I expect us to continue to progress and grow every single week, hoping that the next 2 home matches would continue this win streak and continue to push us forward and keep our confidence up.
All right, love it. Thank you, Coach, and congratulations on the victory. Go enjoy it.
Thank y'all.
Congratulations, Coach, indeed. And thank you all for watching again on CUSA.tv and Middle Tennessee MTNN Sports YouTube channel. So, Dylan, I know people love watching, the tennis broadcast and love watching, here at the Cathedral. So what is our fans supposed to be looking for our next matches here at the Cathedral of Tennis?
Well, we've got an absolutely loaded day here. February the 3rd coming up Friday. Women's tennis is back in action at 1 o'clock against the Chattanooga Mocs. And then that same day, the men's tennis, 5 o'clock against USF, back home in the Cathedral of Tennis. The first time in 2 weeks. It's going to be fun, especially coming off a big victory against number 19 Duke. Going to be fun to see them back, and I'm sure they're going to be itching to come up with a big victory.
Absolutely, absolutely, indeed. I mentioned for our next matchup as well. Thank you all again for watching on CUSA.tv and the MTNN Sports YouTube channel. Follow MTNN on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also follow CUSA on all social media as well for all CUSA information about any sports related. And for Middle Tennessee News, I'm Matthew Hayden.
I'm Dylan Simmons.
And at the ATC...